Test. And we are live from Jamie Gent Stadium. Welcome to this first round district semifinal game between the Parma Western Panthers and your home team, the Haslett Vikings. I'm Carter Kelly. Alongside me is Adam Fisher. And Fish, we got a good game tonight. These are two teams that played in week 8. It was a 21-18 ball game going to the Vikings. What are you expecting to see tonight?
Both teams, the record was both 6-3. Parma has the 4-2, and then play has the 5-1. So two great schools matched up again, and like I said, 73 points last time. I think we're in a good ball game.
And both teams, the opposing records that they've lost to. I mean, we're looking at the Vikings, who for the teams they've lost to, they're 21-4, and Parma Western, they're 22-5. So both teams playing against some really high competition right now, and should be a great one tonight. Yeah, one of the later starts for playoff football in the state of Michigan. It's a cold one. We've been blessed all year with some great weather. So see how the players handle that as they haven't had to play in a game in these conditions a little bit. So back to the Vikings is going to be Dontrell Dennis and John Q. Thomas. Do you kick off for the Panthers? That's number 5, Knox Archer. And here we go to open up the first round of the MHSA playoffs. Here's the boot. Thomas catches it about the 5. Muffs picks it back up, though. Looking to go up the middle. He's got some blocks. And look at John Q. Thomas go. He's got one man to beat the kicker. Gets a block from Colton Clark. Oh, but the kicker defeats the block. Gets off the tackle. That's going to be down at the 22-yard line. But what an opening return for the Vikings as they get deep into Panther territory. And on this replay, give credit to this kick return team. Look at the hole they open. And it's a pretty easy return. You got to hold that wide. No cuts at all. Just went in a straight line. Credit though to Archer for chasing that down, defeating a block. Pretty impressive for a kicker. Here we go for the Vikings looking for their first offensive snap. They're led by senior Eric Lardy, who's had a fantastic year this year. Big arm, long wind-up, a little unorthodox, but man, can he get that ball there. And on Parma, looking for number 21, linebacker J.J. Willis. He's also their running back. That's a key defensive player on that side of the ball for the Panthers. Here's Lardy. There's the give. It's Cornelius Walker. And he's going to be tackled by a swarm of Panthers. No, you're good. You're good.
Second down, 9.
Yeah, no, devastating injury with about 2:46 to go in that game, but surgery went well, and we're hoping for the best for Mockery. So here we go, Malone in the backfield. Lardy motions over Clark. And it is going to be a jet sweep. No, Lardy pulls it. What a read by Eric Lardy. He's gone for a touchdown. Eric Lardy has been so great at that year. He has developed so much when it comes to reading defenses. And what a great fake by him. That's just a great read by Lardy. Especially if you go back to that game, you know Mockery's not in it, but you know the Panthers were so keen on these running backs. Haslett. So great play call there from Coach Woodworth and Eric Lardy. Man, what a fake. Shattuck for the extra point. Good hold by Dutcher, and that one is good. So it takes the Vikings just a minute and 1 second to get on the board. It's 7-0 Haslett. Let's just get a replay here. Look at Lardy. Great fake. Good blocking, though. Give credit to Jacob Aki fighting off that DN for just enough time.
That has like scored 2 plays.
That Aki block is going to go unrecognized, but man, that is a great block that allowed that touchdown. Jacob Aki, another senior who has stepped up a ton from his junior year. Really took a leadership role on this team and plays with a lot of heart out there. Yeah, Aki, great linebacker, but it's just tough when you got two sophomores that are really, they're just hard-nosed football players. Both of them undersized, but talk about playing with heart. Watch 39 and 6 tonight on the defensive side of the ball for the Vikings. So here comes Shadford for the kick. As we mentioned earlier, Archer, number 5, did return one for a touchdown, so be ready for him to just get a little squib kick here. And it is just going to be a little booch. Took him by Archer, and he's going to step out of bounds at about the 22-yard line.
I think that's a great adjustment by staff on special teams because you and I were both at the game last time they played, and we kicked deep, and Parma, they were big reverse kind of look to it. One time they did give up the reverse, and then they took it to the house. So I think you're going to see the ball on the ground and make Parma feel it and advance if they can.
No, for sure. Big job for the Vikings back going. Here we go. Parma ball. There's a snap. Here's Willis up the middle. And he is going to be taken down by, it looks like, Ed Osterling. Is that Dawson Dabler?
Yep.
And Dawson Dabler. So good first play there.
Second down.
This is a team with a lot of talent, a lot of size, so we're expecting the ball to be run in, thrown around a little bit.
Here we go. Panthers ball. It's Myers back. Little pitch to Willis now. Willis reverses field. And it looks like a boat of Vikings is going to be there. Good play, though, by Darius Dennis to force him back inside, even though he didn't get the tackle. Forced him back to everybody in. Good game tackle by the Vikings.
Yeah, Parma going that tight formation with the load heavy so they could get that toss in there. And like you said, Darius held the edge and allowed the Vikings to go. This is where you want a team third and long in these situations.
Yeah, Panthers not a great passing team, but they do have some huge receivers. So one thing the Vikings don't have is corners height, but they do have great corners. Myers looks back for the pass. Vikings got a lot of pressure there, and that pass is going to come up short. Great job by the D-line and the linebackers. They sent that house. Definitely affected Myers' throw, and that's going to be a 3-and-out for the Panthers.
Fourth down.
And we apologize if there's any audio issues. Our technical team's trying to figure it out right now. Vikings, they'll have two returners for this punt. It's Robert Smith, number 8, and Colton Clark, number 3. For the Panthers punting, it's also their kicker. That's Archer. Here we go. Good snap. The punt is off. Not a great one. The Vikings not even going to return it. Looks like it hopped out of bounds around the 40 to the 37. So the Vikings will take over in great field position.
First down, Haslett.
A little conference facts for tonight. Vikings are coming out of the CWC Red, and Parma's coming out of the Interstate 8 conference. So we have two different conferences fighting out tonight.
Yeah, the Vikings pulled the Southwest district from where they are located. So they'll also have Chelsea and Pinckney. That's the 1 versus 4 game going on tonight. Winner of this game will play that winner.
Chelsea is the host of that game, so we'll keep an eye on that score.
Here we go. Lardy around the 30-yard line waiting for the snap. That's at 35. They motion over Dontrell Dennis. He goes back outside. Here comes Clark on the motion. Lardy receives the snap. Hands off to Malone. No, it's a play action. Wide open down the field is Dontrell Dennis, but he can't roll it in. Another great fake by Lardy. Just a little too much on that pass. Dennis wide open by about 5 yards, but great play calling by the Vikings.
Absolutely. You're going to, as an offensive coordinator, you want to see if they're going to adjust with that motion that we just saw out of Clark. But a lot of eyes in the backfield biting the run.
Second down.
I think they're going to see that again later today.
Well, the thing that Lodi does that makes that play actually so believable is it's not like a quick out and in. He lets that ride for a couple seconds. You can tell it might be an RPO. But the Panthers definitely keying on the Haslett running back right now. Here comes Lardy's a little rollout pass. Look for Maloney. Maloney's open. Lardy's going to now scramble. Gets a block. And he will be tackled on about a 7-yard gain. Number 16, Kobe Tripp with the tackle.
Eric Lardy, keeper.
Great job. Great idea to keep the ball. Eric being about
Kobe
65
Tripp and
get 3 or 4 yards. Besides with your feet.
Yeah, you tell they're looking for Maloney when they do that little motion play to him in the flats, but Panthers did a good job recognizing it, but Lardy with a nice improvise there. So here we go. We got about 3rd and 3. It's Malone in the backfield. Maloney, the wing back. They motion over Clark. Hand off to Malone. This time it does go to Malone, but a bunch of Panthers find him and they pounce on him. That's going to be about a 1-2 yard loss for the Vikings. And now it's time for Coach Thomas to figure out, does he want to be aggressive and go for it, as it's not a terrible area. You turn it over here, you're still at the 40. But it does look like the punt team will be coming on the Vikings.
4th down.
Yeah, he does have some point leads. This is a time you want to play it safe. Maybe if it's on the other side of the 50, you're thinking twice, but good call by the Vikings.
The long snapper is Curtis. Hunter is Lardy, the quarterback, and returning is DJ Van Riper for the Panthers. It's a good punt, but it takes a bad bounce, and Zach Curtis, the long snapper, down it at the 32-yard line. So a good stand by the Panthers.
Yeah, so we know these teams faced off a couple weeks ago with the last faced off 2017. And I believe that was the first second round playoffs where Haslett got the victory 31-29. It was a nail biter. So we know we're going to get good football games out of these two schools.
Both very competitive. Both have very large lines for D4. When you look at D4, these are schools with around 800 kids, and just looking at the overall height and size of both lines, you'd be pretty impressed that these kids are all from the same school.
Absolutely.
So here we go. It's Myers and Parrott in the backfield for the Panthers. They motion over Van Riper. Ball is snapped. Hand off to Parrott. He'll go up the middle where there's a bunch of Vikings that find him. Looks like it might have been Miles and Newman on the initial contact.
First time we've seen him in the backfield tonight. Switching guys.
And watch out for Reed Myers. He has been sidelined for a couple games this year. He's got a little limp in his trot. Something might be wrong with an ankle there.
Yeah, he left the game last time these two teams played with an ankle injury towards the end.
It's going to be a lot of running going to that sideline all night, so we'll see if the Panthers keep that up for the remainder of the game. Still Parrott in the backfield, motion over Van Riper, handed off a jet sweep. Durling was there, couldn't make the tackle, and he is dragged down by Darius Dennis. That is about 3rd and 8. Good tackle by Dennis, and a great job by these Vikings safeties, corners, forcing guys out of bounds. Just doing a great job game tackling.
Yeah, great pursuit by the defense in general. They saw the handoff was clean, and they all made their way downfield. Once again, Durling, sophomore, so he's learning as he plays.
Yeah, be on the lookout for Hayden Durling and Dawson David next year when they're seniors and juniors. That's going to be a scary linebacker duo. They already are pretty good. Panthers put in more of a spread offense here. Some big receivers, 6'5", 6'3". Looks like they're going to throw on Dennis. Dennis was there, and he almost picked it. Number 9, Charlie Stevens or Maverick Hammond actually had to play DB on that. Great coverage by Dontrell Dennis, and that is a 3-and-out for the Panthers. Yeah, and give some credit to the corners. Nobody was open there. That's almost a coverage play by them. So again, it's Smith and Clark to receive, Archer to punt. Vikings probably won't rush too many. Want to make sure there's no fakes and no real point of going after the punter here. They almost get there. That's going to be a hold, it looks like. Not a great punt. It'll land at about 35, but I believe we're going to have a hold by one of the upbacks for the Panthers. So should be getting about 10 yards here for the Vikings. If it is a hold, it was a pretty smart hold as it is a hold because that prevented a blocked punt for sure. So after the hold, the ball should be at about the 47, 48. Or are they going to? I think he is. Smart move by Coach Thomas. Not great punts by Archer yet, so we're going to have a replay of fourth down. It's going to be 4th and 18.
Great showing at this point. The Vikings as they lose 2 3 and out.
2 3 and out so far. Coach Fish, you were a coach for a while. Would you have took that penalty there, back him up, make a punt again, or would you just took field position?
Well, I think a lot of it depends on how your team's playing, the confidence you have. Right now, his defense is playing well, so I agree with backing him up a little bit, making him repunt it. You're probably going to get about the same type of.
This punt a lot better, took by Smith. About a 40, they got about a 3-yard gain on it from where they originally had it, but much better punt. You got more of a spiral motion and end over end. And Panthers definitely happy with that one.
Once again, great field position, just got to take advantage of it. Parma is definitely doing well with the run game at this point. So it's just the secondary keeping their eyes on their keys.
And again, you can't be mad at the defense too much for that first possession, as they did have to start defending from the 22. They were already basically in the red zone. That's a tough place to put your defense on the first drive of the game. Here's Lardy gets the snap. This one is a handoff to Malone. Malone gets a good block from Maloney, and he's going to be tackled on about a 4-yard gain.
Great positive yards out of Malone, as you can see. Parma stepping up front, right, so not making it easy on the Vikings offensive line, but they did pick up that
3, 7.
Yeah, that's a tackle by Alex White, a 5'9" linebacker, not a big dude, but 202 pounds. He's a strong guy.
Definitely going to be a bad battle. He showed up last time these two teams played as well.
Here we go, 2nd and 7. Lardy receives the snap. Oh, it's a reverse, but the Panthers were on and went to Maloney. And number 33, that's Alex Delore all over that one. He read that like a book. You can see he was almost tackling Maloney before he even got the handoff. They knew it was coming.
Smart play.
The other problem is that this isn't Malone. This might just be coaching, but he slowed down a little bit as you see on the replay. And the Panthers knew almost did a fake handoff there, maybe something, but J.J. Willis was on the edge. Panthers just played great defense on that one to make it 3rd and 12.
Great stop. Now Parma put Haslett in that tough 3rd and long position. See how both teams respond in this situation.
Wouldn't be surprised if we maybe get a little screen pass here. Vikings only line up 2 receivers. Here comes a motion. It's Clark. Here's Lardy, drops back, looks, fires, and that one was just not enough. Dontrell Dennis was open, but some of the pressure from the Panthers got to Lardy. And that's going to be incomplete to bring up 4th and 12. Here comes the punt team for the Vikings.
4th down.
Yeah, good pressure by Parma, and Dennis was open, but a little bit too low out of his reach.
And again, it's tough when it's this cold out. You know, that starts affecting maybe the QB's arm, some of the soft tissue in there. So it's going to be a tough night for both quarterbacks. Lardy to punt, Van Riper to receive. It's a line drive punt right to Van Riper. And he sheds off a tackle, but then a nice tackle there. That's Cornelius Malone with a great tackle. So that return will give the Panthers ball at their own 38. And let's see if this offense can move the ball. Not a ton of success yet, but still early in the game. And a great defensive battle so far.
Yeah, still 4-20 going the first quarter. So teams are still making adjustments on both sides of the ball. So Haslett, went out their last 2 drives as well, so they have adjusted to
I was going to say, give the Panthers a lot of credit defensively. They have figured it out after that first drive. Here we go. Myers in the backfield. He's got Willis with him. Hand off to Van Riper, jet sweep. And he cuts it back for a nice gain of about 3. Bunch of Vikings on the tackle. Looked like it was mainly Newman and maybe Dontrell Dennis that got to him first. Newman, a sophomore, a big sophomore, though, about 6'4". And he's made quite the jump from his freshman year. He was on JV last year. But he put on some size during the offseason, and he also just got some aggression. He's been a great DM for the Vikings this year. Here we go, second and 5. Panthers ball. They're at about the 43. Ball is snapped, it's play action. Looking deep. Myers gets out the pocket, fires, and that's a catch. Great job by Myers and a good catch there. That's number 7, Brody Vital. Vedetto. That's a 6'5" receiver. That's a big board to cover.
Great throw, great catch there. Last season he would have seen number 2 take off running, but in that situation, his ankle's a little tender. I think he's going to stay in the pocket a little bit more.
Well, that was Coach Brad Thomas's decision. He didn't want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Doesn't want him to scramble a ton. And it was a good pocket pressure there by the Vikings, but great job stepping up and making something out of nothing. So it's Brody Vedetto in the backfield, tight end, and he'll pick about 3 or 4. Myers just stood by the sideline by Coach. Again, he looks like he's in a little bit of pain, but first time we've seen that out of the Panthers.
Yeah, and as we've seen throughout the season, that is quarterback. So he's taking several runs as well. You're going to see him run and throw as well.
Panthers are a little bit more of a hurry. They still have Myers at wide receiver and Vedetto back to take the snap. Takes it. And he's just going to run. Sheds off a couple tackles, sheds off another one. But then it's Dennis tackling for a loss. Fish, what I would look for now is I wouldn't be surprised to get maybe a little jump pass with Vedetto. It looks like he's going very slow up there and wondering if he's trying to read it, see if he can get a little pop pass out of it.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. Third and we'll say 5 or 6 here.
Myers
is back in.
Yeah, Myers comes back to the huddle, so you'll wonder if he's going to be the one receiving the snap on this one. Third and about 6 for the Panthers. Willis in the backfield. It's a pass to Willis. Willis looking to throw another one. And that one is caught. That is number 9, Maverick Hammond. And Fish, I could have told you that one was coming. You could tell just by the way Willis kind of trotted up there that he was going to throw. A southpaw throw, though. By the running back.
Number 9, Maverick Hammond. First down, Parma.
I thought Dennis read the play pretty well, but again, that's another big receiver as Maverick Hammond comes in at about 6'5". And Dontrell Dennis on a good day is about 5'9", 5'10", so that's just a tough height matchup when you get boxed out like that.
Sure is. Great play to keep the drive alive.
Willis with the handoff. He's got blockers in front. And that's about an 8-yard gain for the Panthers.
Number 21, J.J. Willis with the carry.
Panthers kind of feel a little on offense here. Put some nice carries together. A couple nice passes as well.
Correction, that'll be about a 9.5-yard gain. We'll go to about 2nd and inches, it looks like.
Even 9, 2nd and 1.
So a good play by the Panthers, and their offense starting to get some life as they have been driving down this field. Willis in the backfield. First and 10 from the red zone. The Panthers' first trip to the red zone in this one. Myers receives the snap. It's a handoff to Willis. Willis broke a tackle and then gets shoved out of bounds. Good play there by Andrew Maloney, number 34.
Carry. Forced out of bounds. 34, Drew Maloney.
Like you mentioned earlier, Willis definitely has big bodies to run behind, especially when you put it in there tight end, and then the tackle next to him is a big boy as well. So he's got some guys to run around. He's got to be patient and let his running lanes open.
Yeah, a lot of big bodies to run behind this one. That's A.J. Scott, the left tackle, 6'7", 265 pounds. Myers drops back, looks. He's got a man. It's a completed pass. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. Vikings can't take him down. They're trying to strip it. That's Maverick Hammond with the catch. But he might have lost yards trying to fight for it. We'll see where they spot this ball at.
Looks like they're getting forward progress.
Nonetheless, great play by the Panthers to make it third and manageable. About third and 5. So you don't know if they'll run this one. They'll pass this one. They're in pretty good field position.
Yeah, and this is where you look at that 4-down territory where you got 2 plays to get that first down or that touchdown.
Here we go. Here's Myers. Gives it to Willis. It's straight up the gut. Oh, and he breaks a couple tackles. I don't think he got there, though, and it's about to be 4th and 1.5. Good job by the Vikings filling that hole.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, there's going to definitely be some decisions here. You know they're probably going to go for it. But this will give the offensive coordinator for the Panthers a little more time to draw up a play.
Yeah, and as we saw, their Parma is staying true to their offense. They're trusting the process. Last time these two teams played, there wasn't a lot between the tackles that was available for running space, but as you can see, they're still attempting that.
And again, we apologize for any audio issues we had in that first quarter. We think we have it figured out now. We have a great team of technicians working for us tonight. All student-led, so Haslett Media Production still staying strong. Fishing wonder here, 4th and 2. Do you think Coach Thomas might put in a little bit of a bigger front, maybe a couple more big bodies to try to stop the run?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see run out of Parma here just because they have been moving the ball in this drive. So he may put it in a different package, but from what we see up top, it looks like his normal crew of guys for the situation.
Yes, it does. Panthers, even when they run the ball, they still like to put about 2 to 3 receivers out there, which, pulls a couple guys out for the Vikings, trying to get a hat for a hat. But you got to think this ball's going to go behind Scott and Benedetto. Although Benedetto does line up on the right side. They got 2 players on the right side.
Looks like they're kicking.
They are kicking. It is going to be a field goal. So on about a 4th and 2 at their 12-yard line, the Panthers are going to elect to kick. Watch the fake here, though. Vikings not really in a field formation. They're ready for a fake. The kick is up, and it's wide left. So the Panthers' first trip to the red zone results in a missed field goal on a 4th and 2, which we thought they were for sure going to maybe go for.
Yeah. Archer's a great kicker. We saw him the last time the 2 teams played, and we see him on kickoff. He can put the ball almost to the goal line or in the end zone. So I think you'll see him again. They have full faith and confidence in him. So the life of a kicker.
And again, tough one. You're cold. You're not a lot of kicking, and it's hard to kick those balls when it gets cold out here like that. Ball just becomes a rock. So here comes the Vikings offense. Remember, they had that touchdown on the first possession where they started on the Panthers 22, but not been a lot of success since then.
No, the defense has been good to him. This is where you got to put some points on the board in this drive.
This is the most time they've had off, though, as it's been 3 and outs mainly for the Panthers tonight. So see if the offense can recuperate and start something here. Here's Lardy, 3 men in the backfield. It's a handoff to Malone. No, it's a fake. It's a play action.
Oh.
Dennis was open, overthrown, though. And another great play action. Lardy sells it so well.
Eric Lardy pass incomplete.
And not a play action we've seen a ton this year when they put 3 men in the backfield. And only 1 receiver, but it was there. But again, Lardy just having a little trouble right now finding his accuracy and his touch.
Yeah, and a different offensive formation that we just saw 3 in the backfield for Haslett. So that usually is pretty steady with run. But right there, like you said, great read fake by Lardy, giving it a shot to Dennis. That's been a familiar connection all season.
And a weird handoff. It goes to Clark for about a loss of 2.
Little miscommunication there between the running back and the quarterback.
Getting some of his first action in a little bit of time. It's Brandon Nelson in for the Vikings. He was actually in that backfield. A junior and not someone you typically see in the backfield, but Coach Thomas and Coach Woodworth definitely saw something with his blocking ability as he was the lead block on that one.
I think the Vikings had to make a few adjustments in this last 2 weeks without having a Mockery, your major weapon and threat. So they've had to put some other guys in there. So when your number's called, it's your time to shine.
3rd and 13. Lardy goes. It's a little rollout. Good blocking. Throws it downfield. Almost picked it off the hands of Archer. Couldn't quite come down with it.
Eric Lardy pass incomplete.
Definitely a punting situation for Haslett.
Yeah, you saw there for Haslett, they had the 2 receivers, 1 back, and a tight end look with a little B back. Just not a passing formation a ton, not a lot of options on there. And Knox Archer almost came up with a game-changing play if he could have held on to that one.
We're definitely seeing a lot of different offensive plays coming out early just because of 2 tough defenses. The offenses are having to pull out a little bit more out of their playbooks probably than usual.
And you know as a coach, by week 10, a lot of guys banged up. You can't play guys as much as you normally would. Got to keep them healthy. Punt goes to about the 50. It's Archer with the ball. He's got a crease, runs through about a couple guys, but then Brandon Nelson makes a tackle at the 35-yard line for the Vikings.
Great snap, great punt by the Vikings, but great field position for Parma Western.
Archer has a very quick step. He gets out of there very fast. Here we go. Panthers came up empty on their last trip, kicked a field goal from the 12, pushed it wide left, but they had shown the most life on offense, moving the ball consistently about 6 to 7 yards every play.
By number 46 for Haslett. 1st and 10 for Parma Western.
For Western, it's receivers on the top and bottom of the screen. It's 1 back, tight end to the left. Here comes the motion. It's Myers hands it off to Willis. Willis up the middle, and Eddie Osterling wraps him up for about a 1-yard gain.
Vikings very stout in the middle there. They've been consistent there most of the season. Seeing if that motion pulled any guys out of there, but Vikings stayed strong.
Gain of 1.
Looks like they're kind of just manning him up, passing him off to the other side on that motion right now, and living with whatever happens from there.
2nd and long situation.
2nd and 9, ball at the 34. It's Myers and Willis in the backfield.
Same original formation as last down.
No motion. It's a drop back pass. They're looking to go one-on-one. It's a fade ball. Hammond and Dennis fighting for it, and Hammond caught it. No signal yet, and it's a catch at about the 6-yard line. What a ball by Myers. Put it just where he had to. Look at this replay, folks. Myers steps into one, throws to that outside shoulder. That's a beautiful ball.
And you're taught as a quarterback, you got to put the ball between the sideline and your receiver, and that's just what he did to give him that chance to catch it and keep Dennis out of there because he is dangerous.
Here comes the Wildcat back in. It's Vedetto, the big tight end at 6'5" back there. He is the backup quarterback, but expect a run here and him to just plow his way forward. He does get it. He's going to do exactly that. Still fighting after being wrapped up, but now the play's going to be called dead. And a little extracurricular there as
number 7, Brody Vedetto with the keep.
But nothing too serious. Both players just trying to play through the whistle. And a nice 2-yard gain there by the Panthers. About 3.
Stop by
so we're in a 2nd and goal situation, so there is no first down to gain. So this is where somebody's got to come out of here with a stop or some points.
Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to Vedetto. That's a big body, and just leaning forward, he's probably going to get you about 2 yards. They're going to go under center here with Myers. Hands it off to Willis, and a great job by Dennis to come off the edge and get a stop right at about the half-yard line for the Vikings. Huge play there by the senior Dontrell Dennis. But a good play by the Panthers as wonder if Vedetto might go under center here and they just go for a little QB sneak. They keep Myers in. He's going to go under center. Lots of bodies to the left. It's Willis, the deep man. Oh, they are going to go QB sneak, and Myers gets in there.
He gets pushed in for the touchdown.
He almost went standing up. I don't think the Vikings were ready for him to go that quick.
No.
Not a lot of movement from the D-line. But the Panthers find the end zone for the first time tonight. And that was a great drive by them. Here on the replay, you can see the Vikings D-line just never really fires off the ball. They go low. Myers just goes right over the top. Walked into the end zone pretty much. Here we go, the extra point. It's Archer. Just missed a field goal, but that was about a 27-yarder. This one, an extra point.
And Parma Western taking advantage of the great field position after that last punt in return.
Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. Oh, and it's a booming one through the uprights. He's got a little bit of a leg to him. So that ties it up 7-7. So Parma Western, after going down 7-0 in the first minute of the game, they've stood on their head on defense and 2 great drives back-to-back. One resulted in no points, but this one does result in a touchdown. We got a tie ball game with 9:02 to go in the second.
Yeah, and both of these teams are not shy with putting up points, where if you look at some of our stats, Parma Western averaging about 32 points a game, and then the Vikings averaging about 21 points a game.
1-yard touchdown.
Fish, what have you noticed about the Panthers offense that's changed in the last couple of drives?
Well, they keep varying up their different offensive formations, which keeps Haslett, on edge, that they can't run the same stunts or blitzes every time because you have to respect the different formations. And like we said, definitely running behind a lot of big bodies, whether they're linemen or they're wide receivers or fullbacks. They have a great offensive packages, so they keep varying it up, and they're trusting their offense at this point.
Archer to kick. It's a booming one. They're going to go target Dontrell Dennis. Receives it at about the 5-yard line. Here's Dennis. Has a crease, hurdles a man, fumbles the ball, but it goes back in his hands. No, still loose, and the Panthers pounce on it.
They're calling him
call him down after the first fumble that he recovered it. It's going to be Haslett ball. I do think he was down after that initial fumble. Then he just coughed it up again. But a scary play there for the Vikings. Luckily, they retained possession at their own 18.
Absolutely. Ball security is number one in all offensive and special teams plays. And Dennis did a positive by getting north and south on that return, but just the ball security, there's going to be a lot of hands flying in there punching away at it.
Yeah, in a playoff game, you love the creativity to go for the hurdle, but I bet Thomas will tell him for the rest of the night, just keep it high and tight.
Absolutely. Take what the other team gives you.
Here we go. Vikings offense has been a little stagnant in the past couple drives. Let's see what Lardy can do for them on this one. Lardy receives it. Handoff to Malone. Malone gets him through a couple guys. He's through the middle. Here comes Cornelius Malone. Still on his feet. Can't be taken down. Finally is by Archer, but he's at the Panthers' 42-yard line. A huge game for the Vikings.
That's a great offensive response for Haslett, and looks like they're going to be a little bit more hurry up.
Man, that initial hold at the offensive line gave him, you could have fit 3 Malones through that one. Great job up front by the big boys in blue. Malone gets the handoff again. This one's going to go nowhere. That's a great play by number 22, Luke Bergoder.
Number 5, Cornelius Malone.
Over the years, we've seen Cornelius run the ball quite a bit, and he is difficult to take down. And as he's getting older, his speed has gotten a lot better. We saw him against Jackson last week take a long touchdown run, and his wheels kicked in, and he outran everybody. So love to see him in the open field.
My apologies. That was 23 Colt Archer on the tackle. So a great job by the backside end getting all the way over there. Unblocked, and he made quite the play. It's a fast D lineman. Lardy does hand this one off to Malone. Oh, he bounces off a tackle. He's still going. Oh, gets tripped up.
22.
Good play there. This time it is Luke Bergoder on the tackle. Malone down.
5, Cornelius Malone with the carry.
Looks like he's okay. Maybe just tweaked his ankle a little there. Doesn't look like it's anything too serious as he comes hobbling off the sideline on his own power.
That's what you want to see.
A very delayed handoff there for the Vikings. Looked like Malone was stopped in the backfield, but did a nice job bouncing off a tackle and picking up a first down for this Vikings offense.
Tackle for Parma Western on that play by number 20.
Ball's at the 32.
Burkhead.
Vikings finally getting some life here in this drive, finding success on the ground. But Malone does go to the sideline. So it's Dennis in the backfield now. Already gets a snap. It is a handoff to Darius Dennis. Oh, he's got great blocks up that left side.
Great run.
Great job by the offensive line getting up the field to the next level. And it's pretty easy as a running back to follow those blocks.
Absolutely. And, one thing that the Parma got lucky on 2 of those big passes to Dennis that they were just out of his grasp, but they're making their defensive backs stay back and respect our wide receivers. So that gives you less guys to run against. So that's helping the Vikings at this point.
Especially when you go to the boundary. Pulling off a guy from that boundary side makes it a little tough.
Absolutely. It's nice when you can run to your own sideline.
1st and 10, ball at the 21. Vikings just outside of the red zone. It's Dabler now in at the B-back, so a bigger body for the Vikings. Lardy, play action, goes deep. Oh, overthrown. Intended target was Colton Clark.
Lardy pass. Intended for number 3, Colton Clark, incomplete.
We do have a flag. It's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield on the Vikings, so this is going to back them up.
And just like we talked about, Parma Western, they're trusting their offense, and the Vikings are doing the same, mixing up the run and pass.
That penalty is going to be declined, so they're going to replay 2nd and 10.
That penalty on Haslett is declined.
Fish, don't know if I agree with that one to decline that. Could have made it about, what, 1st and 20? Said it's just going to be 2nd and 10. So interesting. Wonder if the Panthers don't want a deep shot and don't want to give the Vikings more room, but I'd love to know the reasoning on that one.
Yeah, coming off an incomplete pass.
Dennis still in the backfield. Malone yet to come back in after tweaking that ankle. It's a handoff to Dontrell Dennis on the jet sweep, and he's going to get some blocks. He's going north and south, but I think we're going to get a hold on number 3, Colton Clark. That's going to back the Vikings up a little bit.
It sure will, and it was right in front of the side judge, so can't get away with those.
No, tough one when receiver starts going, when anybody starts kind of running east and west there, as guys just keep flipping so much. So we'll see where they spot the ball after this one, but it looks like we might have about 2nd and 13 for the Vikings when it's all said and done. Definitely has been one of the better series for the offensive line for the Vikings tonight as they're getting to the 2nd level. And it looks like there's also been assessed a sideline warning to Haslett, as I believe what we just heard.
Yeah, so the nice thing is the first one is a warning. The second one will be a personal foul. So you got to watch yourself in the sidelines. You got to stay in the box, especially during this playoffs.
Refs definitely going to be on top of their game a little more. It's 2nd and 15 after the holding call on the Vikings.
I believe the Vikings are in 4-down territory as well, so we have some plays to work with. Just chunk it if you can.
You do wonder if they pick up about 6 or 7 if they trust the leg of Shattucker, though, to maybe go after one. Motion, it's Dennis on the motion. He is going to get the handoff again. Same play by the Vikings. Other side, great blocking by the wide receivers for the Vikings, and Dennis is going to pick up about 10.
Dennis on the carry. Tackled by number 5, Noah Berderner.
Number 5, Noah Berderner comes up with the tackle, but great run by Dennis and a great job by the Vikings receivers to get some blocks.
3rd and 5.
Yeah, Dontrell is electrifying when he gets to the edge, and as you saw there on the replay, he can find a seam as well. His little brother blocking for him, which is pretty cool as well.
If you pick about 2 to 3 yards on this, I think you go for it. If it's a no gain, you might want to bring Shattucker out for the field goal. Here's Lardy, though. It's 3rd and 5 for the Vikings. Lardy takes the snap, hands it off to Dennis. Dennis gets through there, and he's got a first down. He's still trying to go. Dennis can't get to the end zone, but he does get to about the 3-yard line, 5-yard line. Great job by the Vikings offense.
Forced out of bounds by number 21, James
And like you said, Adam Green getting to the 2nd level. You see the Vikings receivers get some good blocks there, but just a great job by this Haslett team, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5.
And Carter, as you know, over the years when I've coached you and some other teams, we always say you don't have to put a guy in his back. You just got to get in his way to let your running backs get a little more space.
That's kind of what Adam Green did. He did get juked out, but just being in there kept the safety from coming downfield, and not a highlight block, but a great one from Adam Green. Lardy takes the snap. It's just going to be a handoff to Dennis. Dennis, not a huge running back, gets in there. He's going to get about 1-yard gain. This is where you'd really love to have Malone, who's a power back.
Just under 5.5 minutes to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts each, so they're in a good position if they need them later in the half.
You almost want Eric Lardy to almost just do a QB keeper here at 6'6",
gain of 2,
and about 215 pounds. Be nice for him to get running downfield a little. They're going to go back to Dennis. No, it's a keeper by Lardy.
Great
and just
call.
what you thought, he's going to go to the end zone on a read option play, and that's Lardy's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
And we know he's a physical kid. We've seen him in basketball and lacrosse, so we know that he loves to put his shoulder pads down as well.
Again, with what we said, the Panthers, they're definitely keen on these running backs. One-on-one at about the 1-yard line. You're just not going to stop a 6'6" kid from getting to the end zone. Don't care how big you are.
Great drive out of the Vikings. A little more confidence in their offense now.
Here we go. Curtis to snap. Dutcher to hold. Shattucker on the kick. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. Little flat, but it goes through the uprights, and it's a 14-7 ball game with 5:02 left. Vikings ahead in this one.
Haslett Vikings 14. Parma Western
Fish, what did you
Panthers
like
7.
out of the offensive drive there for the Vikings that we haven't seen in about the past 3?
So one of the things is they've kind of found some weak spots. So they haven't done jet all game, and they found Dennis with the jet. The blocking on the edges was very well done there. I know we did have a holding on the far side, but then they're also running the ball up the middle. So they're not just a heavy outside team or just inside. They're kind of balancing the ball a little bit. And then, we have seen Lardy try to make a couple pass attempts. So they're spreading the ball out all over the field. So they're not like, hey, this team has only been hitting us inside or outside. They've kind of been spreading the ball around. I think that's made them most successful in that drive.
And one thing this is a revamped offense for the Vikings. Last year they ran more of a tackle overlook. And one problem last year was they like to run a couple of those plays over and over again if they were working, which when it's working, it's a good thing. But this year, you don't really see them running too many plays 2 to 3 times in a row. They really like to keep defenses guessing. And as you know, as a coordinator, that just makes it so much harder on defense to figure out what the offense is going to look for on this one.
And absolutely, and this game is played at a high intensity, so your guys are going to get flat out tired after 3-4 runs. Where here you saw Dennis getting the ball, and then his little brother Darius getting the ball, Lardy running the ball. So they're spreading it out, keeping guys fresh as they drive down the field.
Yeah, and like you're saying, a lot of these O&D linemen, they're going both ways tonight. So when it's just run after run on both sides of the ball, it's going to get really hard.
I'm guessing Haslett's going to keep it on the ground. It seemed successful the first time they did it.
Little squib. Oh, Jaden Willis with
hands.
a nice play. He gets it about the 30. Still on his feet. He's going to get wrapped up around the 40. He's still going. Hasn't been taken down. Finally is. Couldn't see exactly what Viking got to him
Willis
first.
return.
Looks like the
Tackled
ball
by
will be
number
about
8,
the
Robert
41-yard line. That was great hands, like you said. That's a tough bounce to handle and made it look like there was no problem.
Yep, that's why an athlete like he is at that second tier for those kind of plays, and you want the ball, obviously, to hopefully get farther down the field, but in that situation, you didn't give up a long return, and that's what you want at the end of the day is not giving up any more returns for touchdowns like we saw last time they played.
So here come the Panthers. 2 consecutive trips to the red zone. One resulted in a missed field goal, but the last one a touchdown. And let's see what they can do from their own 40-yard line. Van Riper on the motion. Myers takes the snap, hands it off to Willis. Willis trying to bounce it outside, and he's brought down by the Vikings. Looks like it was number 9, Zach Curtis, with a little help from Drew Maloney and Dawson Dabler on that one.
Yeah, good run by Parma Western.
39, Hayden Durling.
Who we see 3-4 yards on that play, making definitely a much more manageable second down for them. Vikings staying steady on defense.
Yeah, big thing for this Parma offense is you can't have a lot of 2nd and 10s. You need those 2nd and 8s, 2nd and 7s with how they like to run it. They don't need those big hitting plays. They just want to get about 4 to 5 on those runs and see if they can bounce one for about 10 to 15.
But we know they are capable of those big hitters.
Especially throwing a lot of athletes outside. Van Riper on the motion. He'll get it. It's a jet sweep. Oh, hurdles him, man. What a hurdle. But I think we're going to get a flag. We are. In high school, remember, you cannot hurdle unless someone is diving at your ankles. But what an athletic play to go over the top of Thomas. But this one is going to be about a 10-yard penalty, as you can't do that in high school ball.
It's always fun to watch, but yes, like you're saying, high school ball, no hurdling, and the Vikings were at about his waist level making a standard tackle when he jumped that. So the officials are looks like they're looking in the book for a ruling on this.
Book?
I don't know if that's a personal foul.
I believe it is. I think they have to write down his number.
Because it is a personal foul.
It is a personal foul.
There it is.
Yep. So it'll be what? That's 15, right? Not 10.
Correct, on the personal foul. So that's going to back him up. And 2nd and long.
Yeah, and Van Riper seems like a good player, not really a hothead or anything, so wouldn't expect him to get another personal foul.
Correct. And as we see both offenses testing the ball inside and out, we've seen jet out of both, and we've seen the off-tackle runs and that power look inside.
But even though it's a great athletic play, not a great team play, as you go from what would have been about 3rd and 5 to now 2nd and 20. 2nd and 22. So this is going to be a tough one here for the Panthers. Look for the pass here. It is Myers. He drops back. He's looking deep. He fires one up the field. It's a wobbler off the hands, but
Pass interference on Haslett. Grabbed a little jersey on that one.
There is a flag. Couldn't tell if it was a cleat for a second.
That was beyond friendly fire, so the official has to make that call.
Flag on the play.
And an automatic first down, even though it is only about a 10-yard penalty, but the automatic first down is huge for the Panthers. At least I believe it's an automatic first down. Don't know
that I'm not aware of at this point, because I think we saw it earlier in the year. They walked it off, and it was not automatic. So yeah, I could be wrong.
The ruling might be in high school, not an automatic first down, which not an awful play by the Vikings. Get a little 10-yard penalty. Still going to be what, second and 7? Yeah, so it is going to be a 15-yard penalty. No automatic first down, though, so we're going to go back to 2nd and 7. So kind of neglects a play from Riper on that hurdle.
And Parma Western is not in that automatic 4-down territory, so this is where they definitely need to get a first down on this drive to put themselves in that 4 play.
Yeah, and on this play, you really want to see them get about 3 to 4 yards on this run. That would be huge for the style of offense they like to run. Willis in the backfield. Myers is at QB. Easton Jones.
Center picked up the ball, it looked like, so which makes it a false start. Should be on Parma Western.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, so a tough one. We saw Grayson Romy, the Haslett center, struggle this one a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
At Parma. But no, this is going to back them up 5 yards. So just not great penalties by both teams. A lot of mental mistakes. And you go from 2nd and 22 to 2nd and 7, now 2nd and 12.
And in that situation, if you pick up the ball clearly off the ground, it's a live ball. Where if he needs to adjust it, he has to roll the ball on the ground to keep it where he wants his hands on it. Yeah, another passing situation.
Myers looks. He's got a man, and that's going to be a couple of yards. A first down. Ooh, a big hit at the end, but that's about a 20-yard gain there. Good play there by Easton Jones, or Cole Archer.
Coming out of the wing position.
Tackled by number 39, Hayden Derling.
Yeah, so a great play there. The first time we've really seen that kind of flat pass there by the Panthers, but something they might have picked up from the Vikings. The Vikings like to run that one a lot this year. And again, it's not something you're going to throw 8 to 10 times in a game, but 1 to 2 times is going to make the defense respect it, and sometimes they're going to forget about it.
Absolutely. It's always a play you keep in your back pocket, but you don't abuse it.
So a huge first down for the Panthers that puts them in Viking territory. Ball's at the 43-yard line. Hand off to Willis. He goes up the gut. He's going to get about 5. See if he gets a friendly spot from the official. He will. Eddie Osterling on the tackle. But a good play there for the Panthers. Going to put him at about 2nd and 5, which is where this offense thrives at.
2nd down.
So like we said, Fish, 2nd and 5. This is where they love to be when it comes to the sticks.
Yeah, and this is where I see them keeping the ball on the ground just because they've been effective in this position. I'm thinking you're going to see more outside run than inside run to get those positive yards, but we'll see what Coach draws out.
Willis, the deep man, he'll get it. Just a little run to the right side inside the offensive line. That one only about a 1-yard gain.
Jaden Willis with the carry.
And we do have a flag, it looks like. Wonder if this could be maybe a chop block. A lot of bodies flying there.
And like we said before that snap, Willis is an athlete that can get the edge on you, so you probably want to see him trying to extend the play more on the outside than what they've done. But like we've said earlier, they're staying true to their offense and what they do.
Yes, they are.
Penalty on Parma Western.
So that one was a block in the back, which, you know, kind of a rare one you see inside. But like we said, the officials definitely on their A game. Vikings got to get some guys off as they get a late sub. It's Thibodeau in for Osterling. Willis in the backfield. He's got Myers as his quarterback. Vedito was lined up as a receiver, comes in now to more of a wingback position. They motion Archer. Looking to pass. They'll go to Archer in the flat, and he gets tackled by Maloney.
Tackle.
And a great job by Drew Maloney to stop that one to make it about 3rd and 10.
He had a lot of green space to run if he doesn't make that tackle. So great, what we call a shoestring tackle out of Maloney.
Not easy to do when you're 1-on-1 or when you're one-on-one there outside, especially when the receiver can cut it back inside or go up that sideline.
Yep.
Great discipline job.
Big third down play for both teams here.
Myers, he's got Willis with him. Motions Archer. It's going to be a pass. Here he goes. Drop backs. He's looking for that fade. Dennis, and that one is going to be incomplete. I think he would have got the flag if he kept making an attempt at the ball, but he kind of gave up early. That was Maverick Hammond as the attendant receiver. Dennis on the coverage, and that is going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Panthers.
Yeah, Parma Western, they wanted a flag on that play, but Dennis was, undersized, and he's a little more physical against those bigger guys, and they let him play.
And again, I think Hammond gets the call if he doesn't give up on that ball. I really do.
Like you said, if he keeps the fight versus looking for the call, you're right.
So originally, it looked like they might go for it, but it looks like the punt team is out here.
Looks like Haslett is not putting a returner in the back. They're just going to let him kick it and go. Unless they...
I think they're playing maybe for a fake, too, just to make sure everything goes right. Timeout called by Thomas, and he looks animated on the sideline. Wonder if they wanted some return men and didn't get it. Be interesting to know why he took that. I didn't hate the play call not to put a return man. You saw Smith start to peel off towards the end.
Yeah, and then when you see, you're going to have probably a minute 30-something with 3 timeouts, I mean, that you're in great position. So even if they didn't have that guy, and if it rolls in the end zone, you get at the 20. But if not, it's probably a longer field position. But you hate for anything to happen in that short field position.
Yeah, but like you said, a minute 39 left. You would have loved that timeout for the 2-minute drill.
But now we got 2 timeouts, and we know that we can run and throw the ball effectively like we have tonight. Just looking for that big completion between the Lardy and Dennis connection, but we do have some other receivers that are capable of the same thing.
And we've seen a lot this year. At the end of the half, they love throwing up a little streak ball to Dontrell Dennis. They've done it against Mason for a 75-yard touchdown, and last week against Jackson for a 50-yard touchdown, both with about no time left on the clock. So Vikings are experienced in this 2-minute. It's not their first 2-minute of the year. They've been very effective at it this year, and it's been a huge play for them.
All right, well, same response as before the timeout. Nobody back. Playing it safe, making sure the ball is kicked away.
Coach Thomas really worried about a fake here. You can hear everybody on the sideline saying, watch it. I'd watch the ball too. Nope, they will punt it. This one a spiral punt.
Get out of the way.
Oh, and it's good coverage, though, by the Panthers. Goes out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. So Vikings will have to drive 90 yards in a minute 31 with 2 timeouts. But also a great kicker in Jackson Shadeker. Maybe they're just going to try to get into field goal range, go up by 2 possessions in this one.
Yeah, for sure. And looking at the both teams' schedule, the interesting part of this is neither of the teams share other opponents that they've played throughout the season other than each other. So they all play different schedules, and they met up in Week 8 for non-conference play. So sometimes it's nice that you can kind of compare other teams that you've played that they've played, but they don't have this in this matchup other than playing each other.
I was going to say, it makes it tougher when you're breaking down some film because you don't really know a lot about other teams.
Correct, and their programs and how conferences work.
Here's Lardy. Still have not seen Malone at running back, but he is in now at B-back. Dennis with the carry. Dennis cuts it inside, and a good tackle there. Looks like that was 21 Jaden Willis and 22 Luke Bergoder on that one.
10, Darius Dennis with the carry.
Good to see Malone back in the game, though, after taking some time off, resting that ankle.
Absolutely.
Tackled by Jaden Willis.
Remember, again, Vikings without starting running back Corey Mockery, who was having a great second half of the season before he unfortunately got injured in this game 2 weeks ago against Parma Western.
Yeah, huge losses to say the least. I mean, the game before he got injured, I think in that game alone he had over 180 yards and 3 touchdowns, and which put him at the 12 to 15 touchdown mark for the season. So big part of the Haslett offense. But
normally when you see an offense lose somebody that important, they go stagnant. This offense has been putting up points since then and had a lot of guys step up. Here's Dennis with the carry. This one will go for about nothing. You'll be interesting to see if the Panthers take a timeout here to try to salvage some clock for themselves, and they will take a timeout. So that handoff goes for about nothing, and we still got 3rd and 6-ish for the Vikings when they come back after this timeout.
Yeah, Parma putting them in a tough position, get a first down or possibly throw the ball. You never know if you get a turnover out of it. And if you punt, you're probably going to get great field position out of it as well.
Yeah, and again, like we said, with these elements, it can be so hard as a punter. Lardy is a consistent one, but you just never know if he's going to shank one maybe. So 32 seconds left. you know, after that play, you wonder as a Panthers fan, should you have called a timeout after the second? Probably a smart move not to. They will receive the ball going into the second half, but I guarantee you that their coaching staff wishing they called a timeout after that first down play to salvage more clock, as even if they get it back here, it's probably only going to be about 20 seconds to go with the offense after this play and the punt's all said and done. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dennis get a ball thrown to him. He's lined up to the outside. They love this play. Watch for play action by Lardy. Here we go. 32 seconds, 3rd and 6. Ball at the Haslett 14. Clark the motion man. And it is going to be Lardy on the quarterback keeper, and he's going to pick up an easy first down as he runs over Denton Broadworth. That'll be a first down for the Vikings, and you wonder if they'll just carry this one out to the half.
Well, I think with the 2 timeouts, you still can't stop the clock for all 4 downs, so they're probably going to take it to the half.
Yes, they will. Looks like Coach Tom is not interested in a play. The Panthers will receive the ball to start the second half. So for a game that started early with some offense for the Vikings, the Panthers responded early in the second quarter, but the Vikings punched one in not too long ago to go up 14-7 in this ball game.
Definitely have a great playoff football game on our hands tonight, so it's going to be an interesting second half. Great job by both teams.
Don't go anywhere, folks. Maybe get some refreshments and some food and get ready for a great second half of Michigan football. We'll see you after the break. One man, two man. Same with the Panthers. There's just not really an offensive set that either team is liking right now.
Yeah, and they all stay within their offensive philosophies with those, alignments. So, you respect that, and they just got different looks, and they can do so many different things out of different looks. And at the end of the day, you probably get mostly the same, end results, but it's just different looks at them.
Yeah, but we'll see here what they can do. Both teams have relied on their defenses so far. Shadaker to kick. Back deep is Van Riper. And the kick is away. It's on the ground. And it stays in. It is going to be taken by Van Riper. And he's going to try to go left. Reverses field, and now he's going to go. He's got a lot of room. Maloney shoves him out about the 48. But a huge play to start the game, or start the second half for the Panthers.
Yeah, difficult thing when you kick a ball to one sideline is having a student athlete make sure they stay wide and they don't sink or get sucked in. And on that kickoff there, you saw the Haslett guy get sucked in, which allowed that edge to get hit there on that return.
Well, and we saw Willis field the ball earlier, and a good play for him to just let it go, get it back to your return specialist. Looks like he stepped back at the 46. We thought he was closer to that 50, but it'll be 1st and 10 at the Panthers' own 46, but the best starting field position they've had all night. Willis and Myers back there. Myers gets a snap. He goes to Willis. Willis makes a cut, tries to bounce it outside.
Great tackle
and he got
Dabler.
Nothing. Dawson Dabler with the tackle.
Tackled by number 6.
Fish at the half. We were discussing Myers hasn't really scrambled a lot tonight, something he did extraordinarily well in that Week 8 matchup. And remember, that was one of Thomas's keys to this game is we got to contain the scramble. But again, we know Myers is nursing an ankle injury, so his legs have definitely been affected so far in this one.
Absolutely. He's definitely a threat with his feet when his targets aren't open. But like you said, with the injury, we haven't seen him scramble really at all tonight. He'll move a little bit looking to get rid of the ball, but not to tuck it and run.
Van Riper goes to Myers. Didn't know the play. Now he lines back up. They send Vedetto in motion, the big tight end. And it's going to be a pass. Myers looking. Thought about going deep. Oh, and he's going to get taken down. I wonder if we're going to get an intentional grounding. We're going to get some sort of call, I'd assume, here. Myers didn't even get it back to the line of scrimmage. He flipped it underhand.
No receiver in the area either. I think the officials will talk about this.
Coach Thomas wants it, and there it is. It is an intentional grounding, and Myers definitely tried to throw out of that sack. But like you said, no one in the area, but it didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
so
we saw Myers do that a couple times in the last matchup that we had. That right before he got sacked, he would kind of try to throw the ball out to his receivers in that area just to avoid the sack. And
I believe he had 2 intentional groundings in that game too. So
I believe so.
Definitely something he's probably been struggling with all year, and you like it. You like the effort to try to get the ball out. He was outside of the tackle box, so if he could have made it back to that line of scrimmage, potentially that gets waved off. But nonetheless, great pressure by the Vikings. There was either Curtis or Dabler who got to him. Yeah. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 17.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a playmaker, so he's just trying to make plays.
Myers gets it. You knew it was going to be a pass. He drops back, rolls out right a little bit, and he's got a receiver there. It's Maverick Hammond, and he gets the first down, still on his feet. And nice play there. He wanted the face mask. I thought it was a face mask, and that's going to be called. That was definitely a face mask. I think that's going to go against Robert Smith. But a nice play there. It was just a little drag route by Hammond, but no one picked him up, and he did a great job picking up that first down. And with that face mask, that's going to be a little bit more yardage onto this one. So a huge play there for the Panthers.
Yeah, great crossfield drag play. They ran a wheel route just to take some eyes over there with the wheel route and had the guy coming back across. So great play design.
Remember, that is a 15-yard penalty because it was a personal foul. So the Panthers deep into Vikings territory. They're at the 26. Handoff to Willis up the gut. He's not got anywhere to go, and he's going to get wrapped up right about at the line of scrimmage.
Greg Miles.
Miles was on the tackle. The original hit was by Dabler, though, who had him wrapped up by the legs.
Greg Miles.
So a good job there by Dabler fitting that, and Miles finishing the play. Miles, remember, going to Michigan Tech next year. Will be a Husky. Long way from home, though.
Absolutely, but talking to him in school, he's very excited at the opportunity, and he's definitely put the work in to play football at the next level. Great kid as well. So there we have 2nd and 11 about.
Willis in the backfield with Myers. They motion Van Riper. Myers rolls to his left. They're looking to pass. Van Riper was kind of open downfield. Myers still trying to make something go. Oh, and he's got the big tight end. It's Vedetto, and he's still on his feet, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown there. Great job by Myers to extend the play as he rolled out left, went back to the right. Vedetto just doing the scrambling drill, and good catch and run there for the big man.
Yeah, the Viking defense will learn from that when defensive end tried to scoop underneath to get to Myers, and then Myers ended up coming to where he should have been. So.
Yeah, and it looks like it was Dabler who was on him, kind of over-pursued Vedetto, and Vedetto did a little cutback, and that's where he lost him in coverage.
Yeah, definitely a guy that linebackers have to get their hands on right away.
So Noah Baderner is the kicker. And actually, Fish, they have 2 number 5, so who we thought returned the kickoff last week. That's actually Knox Archer. This is their kicker. Oh, wow, and he boots that one through. 14-14 ball game, 9:44 to go in the third.
Haslett Vikings 14.
Fish, we got a ball game. I don't know if I was expecting that out of the Panthers. They moved the ball efficiently there. Remember, it was a huge 2nd and 18, though, to Maverick Hammond that really set up that drive as they looked like they were in no man's land after that intentional grounding.
Yeah, and then the Vikings helped them out there with the extra yards with the face mask penalty. So, once again, it's how you respond in this situation. We've seen the Vikings respond all year, so I would think nothing less. See if Parma Western comes out defensively any different.
And you wonder what the Vikings maybe drew up as half, as again, they did have 14 points, but there were a lot of weird drives. There was really either score or about a 3 and out.
So we know the Vikings here on the last kick return kind of fumbled it and got it back. So we're definitely looking for ball security here.
Yep, it's been 2 kick returns. We had one return by Thomas, who brought it out to about the 5th or about the 22 of the Panthers. This one, not a deep kickoff. No one fields it yet. They finally do. It's Dennis. Here comes Dennis, just looking to probably get out of bounds. Sheds a tackle, but then he's finished. Oh, but there's a helmet, so that's going to be 10 yards at least.
And because his helmet was ripped off, he will not have to sit out a play. Usually in high school football, if your helmet comes off in the play, you have to sit out the next play, but since it was taken off, he does not have to sit the next play.
Yes, when another player forcefully takes off your helmet, you don't have to sit. As we see, they tell Dennis he can stay in. That's a face mask. That would be 15 yards, so
yes.
Great coverage by the Panthers turns into not so great as the Vikings will have it about at the 45-yard line. Both teams have had great field position to start this half.
Yeah, and on that last drive, I think one thing you saw there was we have a lot of underclassmen for the Vikings playing defense, so little things happen with the underclassmen, but they'll live and learn. Most of them have been playing varsity all year.
The ground game has definitely been the Vikings' strong suit. Lardy has 2 rushing touchdowns, both on option plays. One was about a 20-yarder, the other about a 6-yarder.
First and 10.
Eric Lardy looks comfortable tonight. He's been commanding the offense well. Dawson Dabler in at the B-back. Expect a run here as they bring in a more big body blocker. They shift Aki and Dabler and shift the running back Malone, or Dennis. No, it is Malone. Malone's going to get the carry, and he's going to pick up about 3. Thibodeau was one of the blockers on that, made it to the second level, but just couldn't find a body.
Yeah, we had some double pullers for Haslett. We had Green and Thibodeau pulling, just like you said, couldn't get around the edge to find bodies. Great pursuit by Parma Western.
First time we've seen that kind of shift for the tight end and the B-back tonight, as well as the running back flipping sides.
Yeah, just seeing if they change up any look on defense that they can take advantage of. But number 75, Brendan Vayner, he was a big factor in the last game and definitely here too because he takes on a lot of bodies in space.
Lardy hands it up to Malone. It's about a 3-yard gain. That should bring up around 3rd and 4. And as we see, Grayson Romey snapping 2 hands tonight. We talked about this pregame. It's a little new strategy that a lot of college football players are using. It was actually created by a guy from Ferris State. So interesting to see the 2-hand snap, as it's one of the first times I've seen it for the Vikings.
Yeah, Coach Parker, offensive line coach at Ferris State University, kind of came up with the idea, and you just kind of seeing it, being used at the college and high school level. Much more accurate.
Double shift by the Vikings. They throw Malone to the other side. Motion by Clark. Lardy does hand it off to Malone, but a great play by the Panthers. That's a no gain. Coach Woodworth wanted Lardy to hang on to that one. 4th and 5. It's decision time for the Vikings, and it looks like the punt squad will run onto the field.
4th down.
Did not see any major changes there out of Parma Western's defense. Still shifting a little bit or stemming before the snap. Just making great plays on the interior.
Yeah, not a lot of real estate for Malone on that one. You can't really blame him. Van Riper back to receive. Lardy the punt, Curtis the snap. It's a good snap, right at about the face mask of Lardy. Good punt. It's a high booming one, end over end.
Fair
and
catch
it's
was
fair caught by Van Riper. So the Panthers will take it at about their own 18-yard line. But a good stop there for them, especially after the face mask. They hold the Vikings to a 3 and out.
That's what I talked about. Once again, I don't think we're going to see anything big and offensive changes out of Parma Western. They're trusting their offense and what they prep for all week. So it's just kind of a grind game where you got to work up front, make the big plays.
Here we go. Meyer with Willis to his right. Ball snap. They give it to Willis. He's going to try to bounce to the left, being tracked down by Newman. Looked like it was Dabler maybe on the tackle. He is run out of bounds for about a gain of 2.
6, Dawson Dabler.
Great tackle by Dabler and very patient running by Willis, just waiting for that hole to open or that seam to show, and Vikings squeeze him to the sideline.
Yeah, Newman did a great job of spilling the ball to the outside. We talked about how those front 6, which are your 4 down linemen and your 2 backers, your job is to spill, and the safeties and the corners, their job is to force it back inside. So good job doing his job there by Asher Newman.
Yeah, definitely great team football.
Western does come out with a tight end to the right.
Back to
They hand it off on the jet sweep to Van Riper, and he doesn't have really a lot of area to go.
Vikings sitting on that one.
Tackled by number 39, Hayden Durling.
Yeah, the jet sweep, it's been hit or miss tonight for the Panthers. It feels like it's either going for 10 or about 0. But that one gets 2, so it'll bring up 3rd and 6 and a huge down here for both squads. Vikings could really use a 3 and out here if they can hold them.
Western does a really nice job when they need that first down just to get to the first down sticks. They're not looking for really big plays. They're just looking to extend the drives.
No, very fundamental and disciplined team. And, again, 3rd and 6. They're okay living in this area. But they're going to pass. There looks like they're going to go one-on-one up on Dabler. That ball was almost caught. Goes out of bounds. He had a step on Dabler. It was a good throw. That one will be incomplete, though.
And that's a great job by Dabler staying on the back out of the backfield, because that's usually one of the things that your linebacker, kind of one of the things that during the game situation you'll miss out on, is staying with that back out of the backfield. But Dabler knew all of his keys, and he was right on it.
Yeah, especially on a wheel route like that.
Haslett, number 3, Colton Clark, number 8.
I do like the 2 receiver concept here. They can't kick away from anybody, so hopefully if we can field it in the air that you can advance it.
Haslett,
get better field position.
Haslett late getting some guys on, but they do. They bring out their punt team. It's a good snap. Oh, and a booming punt. This one is a spiral. Fair caught by Robert Smith. That'll be at about the 36-yard line for the Vikings. And that was a great punt for the Panthers.
Great snap, great punt, and then a very smart play by Robert Smith, just calling that fair catch to put the ball in the Vikings' hands.
So the Vikings, after going 3 and out, even after the help from a face mask, they'll return on the field. They just held the Panthers to a 3 and out, so you'd like to see the Vikings at least get a little life, even if it doesn't result in a score here. Just try to move the ball a little bit. It is Maloney at the B-back. Malone is back with Lardy in the backfield. They shift Maloney to the right side. Clark and Dennis, the receivers, to the outside. Aki in at tight end. They shift Maloney again. Looks like they audible. Malone shifts now. He's on Lardy's right. He's going to get the handoff. Oh, and a good block there by his line. He'll cut up field for about a gain of 4.
That was a great run by Malone. Just kind of he found the daylight early and planted his foot and got upfield for some tough yards. Vikings got the ball off just in time before the delay of game penalty.
You know, in the age of TikTok and Instagram Reels, you only see these 25 to 75-yard runs. You forget sometimes that just picking up 4 and staying ahead of the chains is a good thing.
For sure. I do not have TikTok, Carter, so.
I thought you were on it. I won't lie. There they go. Vikings do a lot of pre-snap movement. They shift Aki and Malone. Malone gets the handoff, cuts up field, avoided a couple tackles, and he gets about a pickup of. He got about 5. Yeah, he's going to be about 3rd and 1. This is where you wish, as a Vikings fans, that you went under center, could just get a little QB sneak with Lardy at 6'6", him just falling forward. He's probably going to get it.
Especially the tough linemen that the Vikings have up front, just to get a little push. But
yeah, with Romy and then you have Green and Thibodeau at the guards, that's a big front. And they shift everybody again. They've been loving this one on this drive. We've seen it every play so far. Tried to do a hard count, almost got the Panthers to jump. But good discipline by the Panthers D-line.
Hand is up, so 10 seconds before the snap has to be taken.
Lardy does snap. He gives it to Malone. He goes right up the middle. I don't know if he got it. It's going to be close. It'll all depend on the spot here by the official. It looks like he's going to be short at about 4th and inches. Malone, I didn't love the dancing he did. Really thought he should have just got north and south there.
Big decision time for Haslett. Looks like they're going for it. No specialists entering the field.
Wouldn't be surprised if we maybe saw a hard count into a timeout here too. And again, I just love if the Vikings could go under center here. I think having a 6'6" quarterback could be such an advantage.
And I agree with that.
Vikings hustle up to the line. Everybody's in tight, a lot of bodies in there. They do give it to Malone, and he's got the first down and a lot more.
Great
That's
surge.
About an 8-yard carry. What a job by the boys up front, and Malone just running hard-nosed football there. And that's going to be a Haslett first down as they get into Panther territory.
And like you said, in those situations as a defensive lineman, you don't know if you're waiting on a hard count or going on 2. But the Vikings were just confident, and they were going for it and getting it, which they did.
Well, especially on the previous play where they did try to go on 2. Like, that's just, like you said, it's very tough interior. And the Vikings stacked the box, and the Panthers didn't really respond to it quick enough. But a great job by Malone to get north and south. That's what I wanted to see him do on the previous play. But nonetheless, Haslett first down at the 48-yard line. Here's Lardy. He's got Malone to the left. Aki and Maloney are on the left side. And then you got Dontrell Dennis at the top of your screen. Colton Clark now motions over there too. He's now going to be at the top of your screen. Wonder if the Vikings might take a little shot to Dennis here. He's in one-on-one coverage. They've loved him. Maloney motions out. They like this flat route for him. Lardy thought about it. He's going to scramble now. Steps up. Still up, and he's going to get taken down. And there was great coverage by the Panthers. That's more of a coverage sack than anything.
Absolutely. Great job by Parma Western's defense. Smart play by Lardy, just taking the loss on that versus throwing an interception.
Yeah, as you see here, we'll watch on the replay. Look at how the Panthers just get some pressure there. Number 75 gets in there. But then it's 23. That's Cole Archer, the junior, with just a nice tackle. He's been their weak side D-end. Now he's going to move to strong side D-end. Aki and Maloney to the right side of your formation. Vikings are going to motion Clark. Clark motions out. Now he's going to go back to the top of your screen, and it's going to be a read option for Lardy. Great pull, and look at, he's got some room. There goes Eric Lardy down the field. Cuts it back left. Stiff arms a man, still on his feet, still going. Touchdown! And Eric Lardy gets into the end zone. What a run for Eric Lardy, his 3rd touchdown of the night. That one was 48 yards. What a run. Coach Thomas fired up with his boys. But my goodness, I don't think I've ever seen Eric Lardy run with that much aggression. That was quite the run from the quarterback.
True leadership, putting the team on his shoulders and giving everything he had on that drive.
I mean, that is just a man's run right there by Eric Lardy. And you saw Woodworth on the last drive get mad at Lardy for not pulling it on the read option. That's Lardy's 3rd touchdown off that same read option play. And a huge one there for the Vikings. Lardy's got to be close to 100 yards on the night. Rushing, that is. So here we go. Curtis to snap. Dutcher to hold. Shadaker to kick. Viking fans giving him some magic fingers. That one is blocked, it looked like, at the line.
The extra point is blocked.
That's tough because all points are crucial at this time in the game.
Especially a 1-score game.
Vikings
so that
20.
was blocked. That was number 75, Brennan Vayner, who we saw get good pressure on that last sack for there. And You know, that's a momentum killer. Even though that's a 48-yard touchdown, to get the extra point blocked, huge for the Panthers. That gives you a little bit of confidence knowing your next touchdown could put you up in this game.
Absolutely. And then I think with the Haslett shifting, I don't know if they're trying to run away from Vayner or what their theory is behind it. But between him and 45, Alex White, he's a fullback by nature, but they got him playing over the nose. So he's a shiftier, more stout, fast type nose guard. So he's probably harder to handle than your usual nose guard.
And something you noticed about that field goal is that's about the third or fourth time that on special teams tonight, the Vikings have been late getting a man on the field. So I wonder if that's some focus from the players, just not paying attention as.
Yeah, very difficult. You see it at all levels, but, you know, you get excited after a touchdown, you run to the sideline to celebrate, and then you forget about your next job. So I bet you he won't forget next time.
No.
So as you can see, Jackson, Parma Western, they are kind of sitting a little bit tighter now because the Vikings have been kicking it on the ground.
Yeah.
As Haslett, I would continue to kick it on the ground and not take your chances and say, let's put it over his head, because then you probably put it in his hands.
I'd maybe go target that right side of the field as they're shifted more deep to the left, as you can see, because that's where Shattucker likes to kick it as the ball goes right there.
And that's what they are continuing to do.
And Van Riper likes to flip the field here. He's got some speed. Oh, but great coverage by the Vikings there. Colton Clark, the first man. Brandon Nelson, the second. Malone was also in there. Great coverage by the Vikings.
Great job, and we know the last time that he returned the ball that the Haslett defense or the kickoff team kind of sucked in a little bit, and I think he was looking for that again, but definitely much better job by the kickoff team.
They just did a great job staying fundamental, making that funnel, forcing you to try to go to the middle more than the outside.
Never fun being a contained guy.
So ball's at the 21. Panthers going to have to put together a nice drive here to find the end zone. But again, now it's 2014. 2 field goals can tie this game. That missed extra point could come back to haunt the Vikings. Vikings showing pressure off the edge with Dennis. Ball snapped. It's a pass. They're looking deep. They're going to take a shot deep. This one's going to be overthrown. Good coverage there by Dennis. And it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Panthers.
Yeah, those two have been battling all night, and that's Meyer's target. So great receiver to go to.
Yeah, it was a Week 8 ball game where Dennis actually had what would be the game-winning interception in the back left part of the end zone over Hammond. Dennis, only about 5'7", 5'8", but a great DB at that. He's got around 8 interceptions on the year. He's had a fantastic year.
I totally agree with that. And Stevens is a great wide receiver. We'll see if the Vikings draw up a little more pressure or if they're just safe with keeping the ball in front of them here.
Handoff goes. Oh, and it's a good one. Oh, and he's running man over. That's number 4, Brody Parrott. We haven't seen a ton of him since the first quarter, but he gets north and south, and that'll be a Panthers first down. That was an angry run there.
Yeah, I think that was his only second carry of the night.
But it looked good. He exploded. Good job by the Parma Western offensive line. And again, when you got somebody that fresh that can run that hard this late in the game, you wonder if you'll see him get a couple more carries now as they try to let Willis catch his breath. Parrott still the running back. A little bit of more of a pistol look with a wing back to the left. It's a play action. They're looking. Zach Curtis trying to get him. He forced a fumble. That was a strip sack. Ball still loose. Maloney jumps on it.
Hayden
Durling, sorry.
Big turnover for the Vikings.
It was
great
Zach
backside
Curtis.
Pressure.
Yeah, Myers didn't feel that pressure the best. Had that in his right hand. You'll see it here on the replay. And Curtis secures the tackle. They work on this drill once a week. Secure the tackle, and then just go try to swipe at that ball. They did it. Miles tried to be the initial recovery. It popped loose, but Hayden Durling, the sophomore, was there. And it'll be Vikings ball in the red zone. A huge turnover for the Panthers.
Absolutely, and the big fellows up front don't usually get a chance to put their hands on the ball. And Miles tried to scoop that up as he was falling. But great pursuit by the whole defense to help recover that ball. Really big possession for the Vikings.
Give Miles a little bit of credit. He has been playing both ways all night, so when it's a play like that, you get a little tired and the fundamentals will just go away.
Definitely a big part of this team this year.
Vikings have 2 men to the left. That's Aki and Maloney. They're going to shift Clark, and he's going to go back out. It's just going to be a handoff to Malone. No, Lardy pulls it, and it's another read option, and he's running people over. I would just keep going with Eric Lardy. That looks like it's about a first down, might be 2nd and 1.
Lardy with the keeper.
Definitely props to the offensive line. They're really getting off the football right now to make that happen for Lardy.
Yep, and Lardy just running hard down the field. And that'll be another Vikings.
Gain of 9, 2nd and 1.
Ooh, 2nd and 1.
Yeah. Don't know if that's terrible for the Vikings, though. Milk a little bit of clock here. Maybe even try to get the first down and then pull it into the quarter if they can after 2 more snaps. But the clock definitely on the Viking side, especially if they can find the end zone here. Even a field goal would be huge as it puts you up by 2 possessions. Handoff to Malone. He's going to run to the right, and he can't get to the end zone, but he does pick up a first down. It'll be at the 4-yard line and 1st and goal.
Forced out of bounds.
All right, Carter, all the years we've been together, if Haslett scores, do you think they go for 1 or 2?
I think you have to go for 2 here. I don't really understand why you'd go for 1. I think they'll go for 2.
So that's what we're going to see here shortly.
And a handoff to Malone.
Well,
still on his feet.
More yards.
About to the 1-yard line, it looks. They can't take this into the quarter. Clock stopped about 41. It's going to depend when the referee saw it. But
Parma Western's interior defense still playing very well.
Game 2.
Again,
they're making Haslett earn every yard they get.
It's been a tough game for them. This is their probably 3rd possession where they've had to start around the 30-yard line of their own 30. So it's been tough for them all night. Does look like the Vikings have to get 1 more snap off. Malone, the deep man. Lardy, it's a pass, and Clark couldn't come up. The killer now is the clock stops.
Lardy's pass.
So it's going to be 3rd and goal. Great play call.
Number 3, Colton Clark.
A little bit too much on that pass, I believe. 3rd down, Vikings bring in a different personnel.
Heavy package. This is where they just throw in all their big boys. All
Lardy's
the receivers
off,
come
so
out.
I wonder if we're going to go Wildcat.
Yeah, we've seen this. This actually happened in Jackson last week where they put Robert Smith in the backfield. But Malone also in that game did this where they just give Malone the ball and he jumps over the whole line. So watch the linemen for the Vikings. They're going to go foot-to-foot splits here, and they're going to kind of dive at the ground. It's almost like a chop block for all of them. And they're just going to let Malone soar over the top. No, he'll just try to run through the middle. I can't tell if he was stopped. That extra effort might have got him in.
Hard to see, but the officials have not made a call at this point.
It looks like they're going to call him down at about the half-yard line, looking where the spot is. Malone wasn't in the end zone. So a huge decision for the Vikings here if they go for it or not, as it'll be 4th and goal to start the 4th quarter.
Like you said earlier, taking the points
4th down.
and making it a 2-possession game is very crucial.
But also that
they got time to think about it now, end of the quarter.
And the other thing here is I think you might want to go for it. It would be a 99-yard drive, most likely for the Panthers, unless something goes extremely wrong on this play.
And Coach Thomas's defense has stepped up this half as well.
Yeah, after that opening drive, they haven't really allowed anything.
Nice thing is they have the quarter to talk about it.
And you'll wonder, last year the Vikings had a couple plays that they'd run here. They had one where they just took Corey Mockery, would shift him over, and then just have him go one-on-one with a man. They had another pop pass where it'd be a direct snap to the running back who would just throw it over the line.
And you were usually on the receiving end of that,
I was on
Carter.
the receiving end of that a couple times. But I don't know. Again, this is just where I wish something that the Vikings put in around the playoffs last year was they did put an under-center offense in case of emergency. This is where you'd love to see it just with Lardy. Almost tell Romy just to hold on to that ball and push into the end zone, how the Eagles do their tush push. You'd love to see that here, especially having a quarterback this tall in Division IV football. Maybe even put Miles at center. Just have your biggest dude go.
Did you see if Parma Western defensively will come out with a bigger group up front, or if they'll just stick with their guys?
Lardy is
We know
back.
Vayner has been a pain for the Vikings offense tonight, so I cannot imagine they're going to be running at him.
Yeah, Vayner comes in. Lardy also subs in. Vikings go back with their heavy package, though. I don't think Lardy – it looks like Lardy might go under center here. Yes, he is. Vikings, everybody on the field right now, I believe, is over 200 pounds, except for maybe Malone. The ball should be at about the half-yard line. I think that's what they're saying. And again, the Vikings look like they're going to go under center, and I think – so it's actually Thibodeau in the backfield. I thought that was Brandon Nelson. That's right guard. Jason Thibodeau.
Correct.
Bowers comes into the game to replace him. And here they go. They're going to go just tush-push. Meat on meat, and Lardy's into the end zone. That's a touchdown. His fourth. Yeah, they do call it a touchdown. Panthers can't believe it, but I thought he got in for sure.
It absolutely looked like he got in.
He fumbled the ball, I believe. Lardy does not have the ball in his hands.
So unless they say he crossed the
No,
plane
he crossed
first,
the line first. He did
then
for
that's
sure.
a touchdown.
But I think that's what the Panthers were complaining about, is that he lost the ball. But I just don't see how you don't think he gets in. It's a half yard for a guy who's 6'6". Ref still discussing it. But the ref closest to us in the box called it a touchdown. They move it to the PAT. Vikings go up 26-14. And Lardy, is he in or not? No, he's not. But the Vikings are going for 2. This is how Robert Smith scored a touchdown last week against Jackson. It's just straight up old school Wildcat.
With Thibodeau, your guard.
Yep, he's going to pull to the left. And there, watch Smith go to the left. Oh, a lot of movement. I don't know. I think it's a false start on Brandon Nelson, number 46.
So that's going to make you.
Flag on the play.
Oh.
Never mind.
That should be a dead play because the official was on the western sideline.
Gotcha.
So the Vikings lucked out, it looks like.
Panthers student section not happy with the refs. We'll replay the down. Nothing really happened there. Here we go. Get ready for Smith. He's a Wildcat. That's a wide receiver back there. He gets it. Looking, and he's in. Just like
Very
they did against Jackson last week.
Very patient runner there.
Vikings go up 28-14. I win my bet against Fish, saying they would go for 2. He told me they would only go for 1.
Haslett 28.
And the Vikings go up by 14 points.
I'll give it to you, Kilday.
Here we go again. You saw this last week if you went to that Jackson game. Vikings might have got away with a hold on number 33. Nonetheless, though, you're too close in that goal line package. I really like that package by the Vikings where they just put everybody on the roster who probably squats 3+ plates.
So this makes you wonder when Parma Western gets the football, if they're going to get forced into throwing it around a little bit, or if they're still going to trust the ground game and kind of pick away at it that way.
The passing game has been inconsistent tonight. We've seen some big games, but then we've seen the Vikings. When the Vikings line can get after the quarterback, they've really affected Myers throwing the ball. But Myers can put that ball just about anywhere, as we saw a beautiful over-the-shoulder throw earlier in this game.
And we've seen in games past and tonight, if Myers can get out of the pocket, he is dangerous there too.
It has been a slow game tonight, though. I wouldn't be surprised on this possession if we saw them run the ball a lot and then start to get into more of that passing mode. If it was closer to 8 minutes, I'd think they'd pass more, but I think they have enough clock to run it, try to get a stop on defense, and then can do whatever they want on offense in the following possession.
Parma Western lining up the same way as they have. See if the Vikings are going to stay true to what they've done all night or if they'll change it up a little bit. Guess if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
Exactly. You've only had one return that was kind of scary, but even that just got to the 50. You'll live with that as a coordinator. Kick by Shadeker. This one does get into the air, and they kick away from Van Riper. It goes to Archer.
He's a dangerous runner as well.
Oh, sheds a couple tackles, but he is going to get taken down at about the 33-yard line. Number 10, Darius Dennis with the tackle. And that'll set up 1st and 10 for the Panthers offense. Coach Turner not happy with Shadeker on that kick. You can see him talking about it. I think he wanted it closer to the sideline.
And down as well on the ground, because that's the same gentleman that returned it on Haslett last time they played.
Yeah, you were pretty big into the special teams. You could talk a little bit more about why you would do that. But, yeah. Ball snapped, handed off. New running back into the game. That's number 20, Zaid Coates. And his run gets about to the original line of scrimmage.
No gain on
and the clock continues to run. So we'll see if, we have an injury, it looks like, down on the play.
Doesn't look like anything serious, probably just a cramp. Yeah, we got a cramp. So nothing too bad, but it does stop the clock, which is kind of big for the Panthers. Let them catch their breath. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Willis or Parrott back in the game at running back.
I see Willis is still on the sidelines.
So is Parrott.
Yep, and they're keeping
Coates in
the game still.
I didn't get a chance to see who's down on the field.
Look like Thibodeau.
Yeah, that is Thibodeau.
He's a tough kid.
Tough kid. Last year in week 1 against DeWitt, suffered a gruesome injury. Actually came back that season, played in their district or their regional game against Goodrich. Thibodeau, he's had a couple injuries here. Tough kid. Lost a lot of weight, but
Absolutely.
like good. Lost a lot of fat. He's a lot more athletic, can get up the field more this year, and he looks great out there.
Very strong as well.
Myers in the shotgun, steps up, looks, fires over the middle.
Looking for his target.
Yeah, Hammond didn't really look like if he knew that ball was coming. It was a little behind him anyways. He did have a step on Dennis, but that'll bring up 3rd and 10. There is a flag.
Area of holding.
Yeah, Panthers are already moving back. It will be a holding on them. Didn't get to see what number it was. And that will be accepted, so it'll still be 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd and 20 here for the Panthers.
Coach Thomas dialing up some pressure, so that kind of forces you into holding a guy if you don't catch him right away at the snap.
Yeah, and Dabler, I haven't seen a ton of Durling's blitz game, but I've seen Dabler's. He's pretty good at getting through those gaps. Miles gets through quickly. Curtis got through, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped. It was Miles who forced him up. Curtis got his right leg, and then a bunch of Vikings D linemen got in there to get to him.
Myers is slow to get up, like we mentioned before, previous injuries.
Well, I think Curtis went after that ankle that was already kind of injured.
Just kind of wrapped him up low.
Now, Fish, as a defensive coordinator here, do you kind of like the Pat Narduzzi strategy of sending 6 to 7 and just making them get a pass off quick so they can't get to the stick?
Well, if you're looking, you're at 3rd and 24.
3rd and 24.
So it makes you wonder if Coach Thomas will keep the same personnel or if he'll go more to a nickel, bring in an extra defensive back, because you know that they're forced to pass here.
Yeah, and I would just love to see Dabler, though, try to get after the quarterback here. But the D-line, the D-ends are doing a great job of not letting him get out of that pocket and also making him step up. And even when you got an offensive lineman, your own teammate in your way, it's tough to throw a ball over his head.
Absolutely, and we have not seen screen out of either team tonight, so this would be a time that you pull out screen, but 3rd and 24 is quite a distance to pull screen.
I believe this is the longest 3rd down we've seen of the night, and it does not come at a great time for the Panthers. But we've seen them make some magic on 3rd down. They picked up a 3rd and 18 a few drives ago. They really like those drag routes. They come out with a lot of receivers. Willis is back in the game.
Both linebackers are in for Haslett, so it looks like they're just going with their normal defensive game plan.
And as a defensive lineman here, you'll see they kind of get in a more sprinter stance. They know it's a pass, so they're going to come after him. Miles steps up, and he just bear hugs him. That was a great job. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Curtis and Newman. They forced him up, and oh, my God, that is not someone you want to get hit by. Myers slow to get up. Greg Miles just pounces on him. You can see the replay here. Look at Newman and Curtis pry vertical. Myers steps up, and Miles just comes and finishes it. And you don't get much more of a free sack than that as a lineman.
It looks like Parma Western is going to punt. Not really any other option.
No, and Myers, who's normally on the punt, had to come out of the game. It's Willis who will replace him.
Number 8.
And this could be great field position for the Vikings. As remember, this drive started on the 35 for the Panthers, and they're backed up all the way to their 15 right now. It's 4th and 30.
Yeah, Parma Western really struggled offensively on the offensive line to kind of maintain or contain the defensive line and the edge rushers.
Vikings only put one guy back to receive. Normally it's Clark and Smith. Right now it's just Smith to receive the punt. Good snap.
Great punt.
Very good punt, but it goes right to Smith, who receives it, makes one man miss. What a move, and he just trips, falls at the 50. Very upset with himself, but at the end of the day, a net neutral play for the Vikings, and they'll take over right at the 50-yard line.
Luke Burkhead.
And I know we have 10 minutes remaining in the game here, but one of the things the Vikings are going to want to kind of slow the clock or keep the clock moving, but at the same time they need to punch in another score to put the game away.
Yeah, but you've really only seen success for them running the ball tonight. Not saying they can't throw it, but with how Malone and Lardy have been running the ball, I would just keep it on the ground right now.
Whatever's working is what you want to stay with, and Haslett's offensive line in that last 2 series have really kind of shown that they've stepped up.
And as a coordinator, you know, Woodworth is saying just keep it high and tight. We don't need that home run juke. You don't need to keep the ball outside. Just keep it high and tight and try to kind of go down once you get a couple guys on you. Don't fight for too many extra yards. They do motion Malone out, though. First time we've seen this.
Empty backfield.
Yep, now they're going to go to Dontrell Dennis. It's going to be a jet sweep to him. Oh, great blocks there, and he's going to reverse field.
He could be dangerous
here.
here.
Don't do anything too bad. And Dennis going to keep going. He's got about a 17-yard gain. Good discipline by the offensive lineman not to throw a crackback block, as that has become very illegal now. Just a great play by the Vikings.
Dennis with the carry. First down, Haslett.
You know, something you see a lot in high school that you don't see in the upper levels are those reversing the field like that. Just when you got somebody so much more athletic than everybody else, it'd be tough for kids to catch them.
Yeah, he's very hard to contain, and like you said, great discipline by Haslett offense by not no blocks in the back or blocking a defenseless player.
I believe it was Adam Green who did a great job of showing that his hands were out first, didn't lead with the shoulder or anything, and Lardy actually did a great job downfield blocking too. They're going to motion Clark. Malone is in the backfield this time. They're just going to hand it off to him. No, Lardy pulls it. Oh, but guess who's there? That's big Vayner. Vayner's been a problem tonight, and he drops Lardy at the line of scrimmage.
Brendan Vayner.
He gets off that ball quick.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
You can see on the replay here, watch Vayner on your interior. Sheds a block. Actually, I believe he just followed Miles. Miles pulled on that. And that's exactly what you teach you, follow the puller. The clock is still moving, though, so not a terrible play for the Vikings. We're going to get to about 9 minutes when this ball is snapped. 2nd and 12 at the Panthers' 38.5-yard line. Snap, Lardy rolls right, looking to pass. He's at Maloney, but he's going to throw it to Dennis, who dropped it. He had it for a while, just kind of went through his hands.
Yeah, he was trying to make a play before he actually had the ball secured.
So not a great play for the Vikings as that stops the clock. Huge if you're a Panthers fan. 8:57 to go in this ball game, and still out of field goal range probably for Shaddaker.
So we'll see if Haslett picks up a chunk of yardage here, if they're going to decide to kick it, a field goal, or go for it, because you're kind of out of that punting range.
A field goal huge, though, if they can get about 7 to 8. But, again, I don't even think Thomas is going to try it, because if you miss that field goal, the Panthers get such good yardage. I'd almost tell Lardy kind of to punt this one out of bounds, or maybe just go for it like you're saying. But it is an awkward spot of the field. They motion Maloney to the left. It's Malone in the backfield. Lardy takes a snap, drops back, screen pass. Oh, but the Panthers sniffed it out, but a good block there by Bowers. Malone's going to go up the middle, and he's got some room. He could go all the way. Looks like he's going to be getting tackled at about. No, he's still on his feet, still running. They're pushing him in the end zone. Touchdown Vikings. What a play by Colton Clark to help his buddy get in the end zone.
Malone is so hard to take down.
Man, I thought the Panthers had that one. They had him.
Like you said, I thought they had it sniffed out, but just truly a screen to get him loose.
And we were talking earlier, remember, this was about 20 years ago. It'd be the Bush-push rule where you can't aid somebody in the end zone, but that rule does not exist in high school anymore, and you can carry somebody in if you want to.
Absolutely.
Curtis to snap, Dutcher to hold, Shaddaker with the kick. Refs are discussing something, though. Wonder what they're talking about. There were no flags thrown on the play.
And any call should have been made.
Now there is a flag. Wonder if this will be an unsportsmanlike or something after, but I didn't see any Haslett player do anything too outlandish. Sideline warning against Haslett. Remember, they already have their warning, so that's a penalty. Haslett fans can't believe it. And Dennis comes on the field late again. This is the third time on PATs he's been late. I wonder if this is going against Thomas, the whole sideline. Maybe a player got past the 25-yard line where you're restricted from going. It only is going to back him up about 5 yards on the PAT. Still in good range for Shaddaker. He should be fine.
And I know that's Haslett's second warning. And Coach Thomas's argument right now is the other sideline, they pretty much come out to the numbers to
talk to their players.
Talk to their players, share, get the offensive play in, whatever it may be. So I think that's why he's pointing over to their sideline, like asking why that hasn't been on both sides tonight.
So the Haslett offense comes back on the field. I don't believe the touchdown is going to be wiped away. And I'll be honest, Fish, this is easily makeable for Shattucker, so a little confused why the offense is back on the field, as the touchdown, as of right now, is still on the board.
The clock is, the official winded the clock.
Which means the touchdown should be taken off, correct?
Yeah, but we really haven't gotten a proper call.
No.
For anybody to know what's really going on.
Sounds like it should be 28 on the board. So the touchdown is neglected by the sideline warning, or the sideline penalty. So first and goal for the Vikings at the 8. They hand it off to Malone, who walks into the end zone again. And Coach Thomas very upset. Another flag on the field. This one comes in late again. Coach Thomas made an antic right towards the far referee on the the Parma Western sideline. Folks, we got some more laundry though. Great run by Malone. Good job by the Vikings offensive line.
Touchdown is good.
Unsportsmanlike against the Vikings.
Flag on the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Haslett.
Dennis late again on the PAT. I hate to keep calling my man out, but that's his fourth.
It's week 10.
We don't know who the unsportsmanlike was against. All we know is Haslett. That should be enforced on the kickoff.
Enforced on the kickoff.
So let's do this again. Curtis to snap, Dutcher to hold, Shattucker. Malone, who had a receiving touchdown taken off the board, comes back with a rushing touchdown. So happy to see the same guy get in the end zone.
A great response by the Vikings after, he carried guys into the end zone to get that taken away just to respond.
Yeah, especially discipline. You can be very angry when you get a touchdown taken off, especially when it's on a sideline warning after the play. That was a weird snap, weird hold, but Shattucker gets it to go. Dutcher didn't look like he got a clean hold out of there. Shattucker kind of had to wait. One thing you'll notice about Shattucker's kicking style, which, Fish, I got to ask you as you know a little more rules. Sometimes he'll start to run up before that ball snapped. Is that legal for a kicker to do?
Absolutely, yeah. He can start approaching the ball. As long as the ball is snapped, then it's like a snap ball like on an offensive play. So if the ball is snapped.
No, I mean before, though. He'll take like a little stutter step or a step before.
I guess I haven't noticed that. And that you would think it would be some type of illegal motion. But
yeah, obviously you can run up once that ball snapped. It's just, in that Jackson game especially, he really liked to do a lean/small stutter step before it was almost like a nervous tick. But nonetheless, Shattucker 5 for 5. I haven't seen him miss a PAT all year. He's been pretty consistent.
Just the one block tonight.
No, Jeff, sorry, he did miss a PAT.
Return for Parma Western,
got blocked.
That's where Vayner got through and made his presence known.
Shattucker just practices about 30 minutes a day with the Vikings. He's actually a very good soccer player. Was a very good goal scorer for the Vikings this year. And he comes out and helps his boys on Friday nights.
Yeah, he's been a great pickup. He joined the team last year, had a big interest in putting on the pads, and so he learned from a great kicker last year, Will King, and he took over the role this year, and he's really done a great job with it.
King last year in Week 9 set a school record with a 48-yard field goal on senior night. Haslett's had some pretty good kickers throughout the years.
So the penalty has been enforced.
Yep.
We'll see if the Vikings will still kick it down.
Yeah, so normally
kicked off on the ground.
Normally kicked off at the 40. We'll go from the 25 now. Here comes Shattucker, makes his run up. Does keep it on the ground. They go to Van Riper, who's going to reverse field like he likes to do. Oh, he's got a crease, and he could be gone. No, Dennis should get him, and he'll just jump on his back. But a great return by the Panthers, set up 31 and keep their chances of winning this one alive.
I love his effort, even though you're down by 3 scores. Great effort.
So 3's helmet came off, so he will have to sit a play.
And it looks like we're going to have a new quarterback as well. Meyer took a big hit by Miles that last drive.
And I don't know if he's before that, back. Remember, Curtis had his ankle, which has been injured, so back-to-back blows there really hurt him. So it's the big tight end That's Brody Vedetto, and we've seen him already at quarterback tonight on a couple Wildcats. See how he can do throwing the pigskin around. Looks to throw. He's going to go deep. And that one is caught for a touchdown. Wow. What a first throw of the game if you're Vedetto. And that's a huge score for the Panthers. They only took 4 seconds off that clock.
Yeah, you knew he was ready to throw the ball. Both gloves were off. And
To number 9, Maverick Hammond.
Vedetto's hands are up like something's going on, though.
Yeah, our apologies. We can't really see the far side of the field because of where we are in the press box. Man, I would have really liked to see that one, though. I was just reacting to the Panthers sideline. Wonder if they called him short, potentially, but it looks like the field goal unit's out. So the touchdown will stand. Don't really know what Vedetto and all of them were upset about. Couldn't quite see it.
It was completed to Hammond.
Yep, and Hammond's had quite the game tonight.
Absolutely. Great receiver.
Noah Baderner on the kick. Vikings don't even rush anybody, and Baderner nails one through their uprights.
Is good.
So Panthers needed a score, and they got one quick. 5-second drive for about a 31-yard touchdown pass from second-string quarterback Brody Vedetto on his first throw of the game.
So now we have a 2-score game, and I'm guessing the Vikings are going to have their hands team out just in case Western decides to onside it. Still a lot of time left in this game.
Yeah, and the good thing about the Vikings is a lot of their hands team guys are already on their kick return if you really look at who they put in and stuff.
Correct.
Travis Satterla comes in for – this is their hands team as Satterla, who's not normally on the kick return team, comes in. A junior that joined the football team this year. Very good basketball player.
Truly your hands team, you just want to catch it and get down with it. Like, you don't need to advance it. You don't need to make anything special happen. You just want to keep the ball and let your offense put a drive together.
Exactly, and if you're near the guy who catches it, you want to pounce on him. You almost want to tackle him just to make sure nothing can go on at the bottom of a pile. So an unsportsmanlike was called, I believe it might have been on Hammond after the play. As you can see, the Panthers going to kick off from the 25, and this is really going to be bad if they're trying to do an onside kick.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in that tough situation.
You know, I know what you would love to do. You'd probably dial up a little kick over the heads of Walker and Dutcher here, almost at the 40-yard line, and just try to get somebody to run.
Absolutely. Put some speed on the outside and get under it.
It looks like they're going to target the left side, go at Satterla and Maloney potentially. They just do a little booch kick. Oh, they're going to try to get there.
Goes out of bounds.
So I don't exactly know where this is going to go. It looks like Thomas actually declined it.
Flag on the play.
So probably going to go at the spot out of bounds. It's about the 45-yard line.
Correct. You can take the result of the play or have them re-kick it. It looks like they'll take the result of that.
So 8:15 to go. Vikings ball at their own 47, it looks like. And remember, this is a ball game, though. It was just 35-14, not less than 6 seconds ago. But then the Haslett Vikings let up a 31-yard touchdown thrown by Brody Vedetto. So if you're the Vikings here, you want to pick up as many first downs, and you want that play clock to run. Don't snap it until about 5 seconds left.
Ball will be placed on the 50.
Clock is your friend here.
First and 10, Haslett.
And you see both quarterbacks are dangerous when they get out of the pocket. So,
yeah, I haven't seen it a ton from Myers tonight just because of that ankle injury, but in Week 8 he was destroying the Vikings on the scramble. Good to see. It looks like Myers might be walking around on that sideline, though. No, that's Vedetto. My apologies.
Officials ironing out where the ball should be placed.
Yeah, Vikings get 3 extra yards as it's now put at the 50-yard line. Panthers coach wanting an explanation on that. Here we go, Lardy in the... Oh, and they get the Panthers to jump. Great hard count by Lardy. And good discipline there by the Vikings O-line. That's going to be a neutral zone infraction, resulting in a 5-yard penalty and 1st and 5 for the Vikings.
Parma Western.
So like we said, it's only a two-score game, so the Vikings still need to put a drive together, whether they're killing clock.
Yeah, but for only running the ball now, that's huge. They only need 5 yards to get a first down. I mean, essentially a first down right now is about 2 minutes off the clock for every first down. Lardy, no rush to snap the ball. Finally does. Gives it to Malone. Malone just going to go up the middle. Gets a first down and a lot more. Look at the blocks from the Vikings O-line there. Malone still on his feet. He'll step out at about the 23, which will stop the clock, which is what Coach Thomas is upset about.
Another great run, but you want to stay in bounds so the clock keeps running once the chains get set.
I wish you could have seen the blocks that the Vikings O-line just made.
Haslett.
About 3 guys just on top of other guys for the Panthers.
It's crunch time. Especially for all those seniors. They want to extend their high school careers one more week.
No, and the thing you'll see on this year's O-line is you don't have a ton of guys that play O-line that play a lot of D-line. They're very good about having Newman and Curtis really only for defense. Miles plays a lot of defense, but not a lot of these guys have to go both ways, which is huge as O-linemen.
Yep, just different packages. They'll bring in Curtis and
Malone bounces one to the outside, and he's going to high step into the end zone. Great run by the Vikings. That'll push their lead to 41-21 with a PAT to follow. Coach Thomas trying to calm down his guys as they don't want another dumb penalty. Look at this run, though. Great block there by Aki. Adam Green chips a guy. Again, you don't need a home run block. Gets it, and then it's just one-on-one, and Malone gets into the end zone. He's having quite the game, and for any folks wondering if Corey Mockery was the sole reason this team was winning, they've been proven wrong tonight.
definitely missed the young man, but Corney's number has been called, and he definitely has stepped up.
Back-to-back games where the Vikings have got to at least 40. Remember, they only scored 21 against this Panthers offense last outing, or this Panthers defense last outing, so they definitely saw something in film that they liked, Coach.
Parma Western, 21.
Absolutely, and I don't think we've seen a lot change. I know in the second half of the last game that we were both at, that I believe Parma Western shut them out in that second half. So it was just kind of hanging on for the win, but the Vikings have been forced to respond tonight when, push back a little bit, so they've definitely answered that.
You know, the only negative you could say about that drive is maybe they didn't take enough time off the clock, but again, it doesn't really matter once you get in. That's just how good the Vikings offense has been tonight.
Yeah, they'll have their chance to take the time off the clock, and points are huge at this point.
So at the half, if we're going to the other game in this region, you had Chelsea Pinckney, which at half was about 21-2. So assuming nothing's going on crazy there, it looks like the Vikings, if they can hold out, will be traveling to Chelsea next week in a district final game. Again, we have 8 minutes of football. That's a lot to play. But at the moment, Chelsea up 25-2, a very odd score. You'd love to see how that's happened.
Yeah, that game was 23-2 at half, so
safety.
If all goes as planned, it's going to be just like last year.
Yeah, last year the Vikings traveled to Chelsea as the 2 seed against Chelsea, who was the 1 seed. Had an upset win for their first district title in 18 years, and seeing if they can go back-to-back district titles.
But it is the playoffs, so you got to win one game at a time.
You do, and you still got 8 minutes
itself.
in this, and seeing the Panthers just score in 6 seconds, I would not count this offense out just yet. Shadaker to kick. He's kept it on the ground pretty much all night. Wouldn't think he'd change it here. And it's a wobbler. Takes some weird bounces, takes some high bounces. That's going to give the kickoff team plenty of time to get down there. And
Great
they do.
Coverage.
Good coverage at the 25. When you're kicking squib kicks and you can get somebody down at the 25, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And we know that Shadaker has the leg to put it down near the goal line, but the way the Parma Western team did their fake reverses and their reverses, too dangerous. You don't want to take a chance on giving up points on special teams.
You know, I think it was either around like week 3, week 4. He actually put a couple through the back of the end zone. They rolled through the back, but he does have that ability, like you said, to get some touchbacks if the Vikings ever need it.
Yep, but I do like the game plan up to this point.
7:52 to go. You got to think the Panthers have to throw the ball a lot here. Can't take too much time. They do give it to Willis, though, who bounces to the right. He's going to try to get out of bounds if he can, and he does. So a good 16-yard run there for Jaden Willis. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock, only took 8 seconds off.
Yeah, and according to the scoreboard, Parma Western only has 2 timeouts, so they definitely need to manage those very well with the remainder of the game. Smart play getting out of bounds, though, by Willis to save the clock.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when they use that timeout. I can't at the moment.
1st and 10 for Parma Western.
Here we go. Still, we have Vedetto, the quarterback. No sign of Myers since he took that huge crushing hit from Miles.
Parrott in the backfield again. He's
Parrott
had a
gets
big
it,
carry tonight.
But he won't get much. Actually, he got a lot at the end there. Got about 4. Good job by the big boys up front moving him. But the clock is ticking now.
Brody Parrott with the carry.
And with the way the Panthers call in plays, which is going to the sideline, it's going to be tough to get into a hurry-up style of offense.
And it feels like
2nd and 7.
Western's going to be going for everything here now.
Oh, yeah, no, this is
punt.
fourth down territory. 4 down territory every single drive. Vedetto goes up to the line. Looks like he audibles. They've used a lot of clock here. And it's a handoff to Parrott.
Picks up the first
Parrott's
down.
got to get out of bounds. He does. Gets a first down on a nice 10-yard carry.
4,
You know, it's
Brody
tough
Parrott
here
with the
because, like
carry.
we've been saying, you
Forced
got
out
to
of
try to
bounds.
pass the ball. You can't eat too much clock up, but you have your backup quarterback in. Now, we've seen Vedetto throw a 31-yard touchdown,
Number 34,
but
Theo
obviously he
Maloney.
probably doesn't get as many reps in practice as you'd want him to just go into an air raid style right now.
First down.
Absolutely, and
Parma
I think
Western.
Coach Thomas is playing it safe right now just with the lead and not needing to do anything extra special. So that has kind of softened up the field a little bit on the run part of it.
Yeah, not a lot of downhill action from the linebackers.
No.
Which, again, Coach Thomas, one of his pregame points was take away the big plays. I would say they've only given up about 2 of them from the Panthers. Willis with the handoff gets a north and south. That'll be about a 6-yard run.
Number 21.
But
James
again,
Willis with the
that
carry.
clock is ticking. We're about at 6:30 to go in the ball game.
Tackled by number 59, Asher Newman, and number 6, Dawson Bagler. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Number 20 has checked in at running back. We've seen him tonight in the second half.
Yep, this is Zaid Coates. He's had about 2 carries so far in the game. Vedetto takes a handoff, gives it to Coates. Coates can't get anywhere. Good play by Hayden Durling. Also in was Darius Dennis. That's about a 3-yard loss.
Number 20,
Clock
Jake
is about
Buck
at
with the
6
carry.
minutes. Man, the Panthers have used a lot of clock so
Stopped
far
on
in
that
this
play by
drive to
number
not
39,
get
Hayden
really
Durling,
anywhere.
Number 10, Darius Dennis. No gain on the play.
So a loss of 2.
Long third down.
Got to think this is a passing down
Loss of
for
3
the
on the play.
Panthers.
3rd and 8.
See if Coach Thomas dials up some pressure, just kind of
I don't
continues to play safe.
I don't love how the Panthers have been huddling a lot. They've using about 20 seconds in between plays. Vedetto just going to air one out. Oh, and it's deflected, but it's caught.
Number 8.
Yeah, that was off the hands of number 3, Van Riper, into the hands of number 8, Luke Nally.
Number 9, Maverick Hammond. First down.
Great focus by Nally, sticking with it.
It might have actually been. It might have been Maverick Hammond. That might have been 9. See on the replay. No, it is 8. So that was Nally. Great concentration in a much-needed play. Stop the clock. First down. Ball is about at the 27-yard line. 5:32 to go in this one. Panthers down by 3 scores. Ball snapped. Vedetto looks. Oh, what
Got him.
pressure that defensive front just got. Vedetto still not down. Finally does. Zach Curtis was in on the play. So was Asher Newman. Both DNs just
Jody
sandwiched
Vedetto,
him.
Sacked by number
He had
9,
nowhere to go on
Zach
that one.
Curtis.
That was immediate pressure
Number
by the
56,
Vikings. You wonder if this
Sam
O-line
Jakolski.
for the Panthers are starting to feel it.
Great to hear Sam Jakolski's name. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name, Sammy, but he was a big part of that. He's another sophomore playing interior right now for the Vikings, so great to see their names being called.
They like to use him a lot more on these passing downs. And, again, he gives good rest for if Osterling or Miles ever needs one.
Yes.
Curtis is just getting through blocks like no other. They throw it up to Hammond. And
Dennis,
Dennis
oh
comes away
my
with
goodness,
a pick.
ladies and
what
gentlemen.
What a pick. Dontrell Dennis, what concentration. We have a flag. I think we might have a block in the back by Darius Dennis.
Brody Vedetto
Should be a
pass.
turnover. That's what
The
we're
turnover
looking at.
will stand, but what
What a
concentration.
play by Dontrell Dennis.
I hope we get a good instant replay of this one.
He truly timed it up just to get a deflection.
Look at that. Deflects it, bounces off the hands. The concentration to stay with it. Second game, he's had a pick against the Panthers.
Officials are discussing.
Yeah, Hammond, who was talking a lot to the Vikings in that first game, he really thinks he gets pass interfered with every play. I don't know why.
But that's usually a penalty for a block in the back of some sort.
Yeah,
so
but we also got a flag at about the 28, which I don't know if it's the same penalty. We have one at about the 3-yard line and one at the 28, so really like to see if we have 2. Vedetto's still on the field, so I think this one might have been
the one at
roughing the
28
passer potentially.
Yeah, 28's in the area of holding, as you can see where the second down marker is located. then I think we have a block in the back down near the goal line.
But again, the Panthers' offense hasn't came off the field yet, so they believe that they're still on. But you would need, even if you had, you'd need probably something along the lines of roughing the passer, defensive holding, or pass interference to overturn that. But again, we're still trying to figure out what this one at the 28 is. We know for sure that the 3 is probably a block in the back or a hold on Darius Dennis.
Correct.
As you saw a Panther go down, but
we'll get the explanation. Block in the back on Haslett.
That one's declined.
Personal foul on Haslett.
Again, though, even if it's a personal foul and it's a dead ball, I believe the pick should count.
Should be Viking ball. They're just going to probably pin back.
I'd really like to know what who the personal foul was on. I didn't see too much extracurricular going on there.
No, once again, we're in a tough spot with the press box, seeing the goal line and the pylon.
Yeah, even watching that replay, though, just wonder maybe you saw Thomas kind of close, or John Q. Thomas close to Hammond when they were talking, but I don't think he did anything. John Q. I haven't called his name a lot, but he's been doing a great job in coverage.
Absolutely.
Just doing the dirty work. So haven't said his name a ton. He's a very good corner at tackling, especially at his size.
Yeah, another sophomore for the Vikings on defense. And they picked on him a little bit when we were at Parma Western, but he's turned it around this week.
So both teams have their offenses out right now. Coach Thomas needs an explanation. He's almost at the hash marks. So what they're going to say, Fish, is that personal foul is going to negate the interception.
I believe so, yes.
Yep.
That's a turn of events.
Again, it's tough when we don't have a ref with a mic making the explanations. I'd really like to know what happened, just for my own sake.
1st and 10, Parma Western.
Haslett fans letting the refs hear it after that one. But again, these refs have been pretty good tonight. It's probably just following the rule book.
So 1st and 10.
Great pass rush again by the Vikings. And that one is over the hands. You see Asher Newman there working on the right side. He just goes long arm. It's tough when he's 6'4". But he's going against a 6'7" kid, so pretty impressive to see him long arming him. 4:37 to go. 42-21 Vikings up.
2nd and 10.
You have to assume that if they make a stand here, the game is pretty much over.
Correct.
Vedetto gets it. It's a handoff to Coates.
They're running it.
But a Vikings D-line, who's probably being told to pass rush right now, does a great job on the run.
Dabler and Thibodeau, great tackle there combo.
Thibodeau's played a little more defense than we've seen him play in the past tonight.
He has.
Again, you're trying to get guys like Miles a rest because playing at Miles' size both ways is tough to do.
Yep. And Eddie Osterling, he's played interior all season, probably takes a toll on the body as well. Giving everybody a little break.
Vikings looking like they're going to go into a pass rush here. Vedetto takes the snap, rolls to his right. They're looking for Hammond on the corner route, and that one is deflected by Robert Smith.
Just knocking it down.
Not a terrible play right now.
Preventing the touchdown. Nope, not at all.
You don't have to go for the catch.
So now we're at 4th down.
4th and 8, you got to think it's a passing down.
Yes, number 9 has been the target all night.
9 and 8.
Hammond.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go at 8. They haven't gone at John Q. Thomas yet, but that's a huge height difference at the bottom of your screen once we go to a wide.
Vikings almost in a
Vedetto
prevent.
rolls out right. They're looking for Hammond. They're going to throw it to him. I think he caught it. It's good. I don't know what happened. They're going to give him the
completion.
Catch. I thought he caught it, so that'll be a 1st down for the Panthers on about a 10-yard gain. Let's watch the replay here. Great job by Vedetto to get right. We knew it was going to go to 9 to Hammond. Right there, you see him get the feet down.
Another amazing catch by that young man.
And, yeah, especially if he hits.
Oh, they're calling it incomplete. Turnover on downs.
Incomplete.
The pass is ruled incomplete.
I thought I saw the ball hit the ground, but I can't tell because so many kids are playing catch over there.
I thought too, but the reason I thought it hit the ground, and I don't know how the rule works, is I thought he might have hit the first down marker.
Oh, which caused it.
Which, again, if the ground can't cause a fumble, I don't know how a first down marker can cause an incompletion. But, again, how do you really say he had possession? Tough play there for the Panthers. Vikings will take over first down. 3:48 to go in this ball game.
Expecting the Vikings to keep the ball on the ground, and we know that Parma Western still has one timeout now that they just took one, so from 2 to 1.
A little odd to take a timeout at a dead ball situation, especially when you need to stop the clock.
I agree with that.
I would like to know the reasoning behind that, unless you're telling your players to go strip the ball. Hopefully we don't see it get out of hand, as about this point I think you can say it's safe. So judging by tonight, the Vikings will be traveling to Chelsea next week for the district championship, which is a rematch of last year's district championship.
It'll be a great matchup once again.
Both teams lost some players up front, but they are also reloaded. And that'll be a fun one to go to on the road.
I'll definitely be there, supporting the Vikings. I think Western took that timeout because that coach did want to talk to the head official, but it didn't get very far. But here we go. Yeah.
There we go, 1st and 10. Vikings go foot to foot. This is what they do when they just want to run the ball. Everybody is inside about an 8-yard radius. Ball snapped, given to Malone. You just want to go high and tight here, go down on first contact, and he does. Viking fans mad at some extra dives taken by Panthers players, but I thought it was just good hard-nosed football. Nothing too
definitely
bad.
Need to keep your cool no matter what, because you need everybody for next week.
Yeah, especially if you're the Panthers, you know, you might try to get a Viking to overreact, try to stop that clock, get a penalty.
And I'm seeing some defensive substitutions on the field, so maybe trying to get some extra seniors in the game.
Yeah, it's always a tough way for high school ball on both sides. One team you move on, you get another week, but you're always ending somebody's career every week. Vikings go down. Here's the handoff. This one is to Dennis. And Dennis goes down for about a gain of 0, maybe 1.
Number 10, Darius Dennis on the carry.
Got to be careful if you're Thibodeau when you get that far downfield, just to make sure you don't hold a safety or something, especially when you're that big compared to that small.
You said there's always a winner and a loser, but being a former coach, what great football by both sides tonight.
Yeah, and I think what you got, if you're the Haslett Vikings, you know, you lose a Mockery who's been just such a force this year, but you have put up 2 of your highest scoring games of the year since he's been gone. Back-to-back weeks of reaching that 42-point mark. And this offense is thriving right now. And a lot of that is to credit to the guys up front, but also Eric Lardy. He has really stepped up in his running game this year. They're going to hand it off. They won't take a knee just yet. And Dennis will plow forward.
Dennis with the carry.
Panthers doing the respectful thing and not using that timeout. They're just going to let the clock run. I'd be surprised if we don't see a knee here.
Ryan Westcott into the game.
You know, Fish, this was the game to watch in our area, and I guarantee you that Chelsea has the game could be the game to watch again. I mean, two teams that are familiar with each other.
Yeah, and you know, like you said earlier, the Vikings, like you said, upset Chelsea. So they have some revenge on their mind as well.
That's sophomore Ryan Westcott getting into the game for the first time tonight. He gets a little carry. You heard the student section go crazy.
You always love when you sub in the guys that don't get too many totes, but he is a fifth quarter player. He plays running back full-time for the JVs, so
yeah,
just letting him run the ball and making sure they save guys for next week on the starting lineup.
And he's not the only fifth quarter guy in. We've got a couple more in the game right now.
Looks like victory formation. That's
and
one
the Vikings
that should end it.
Win by 21. So on a night where a lot of questions had to be answered about this Vikings offense, they play the Parma Western Panthers, who they beat 21-18 2 weeks ago. They win 42-21, and they'll move on to play Chelsea next week at Chelsea. I'm Carter Kilday. Alongside me was Adam Fisher. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.
Haslett advances to the district final.